Hello, everybody. My name is Paul.
And I'm Clayton.
And you're listening to Beyond the Pull List.
Hey, episode 6, man.
We are very excited about this episode.
Yes.
You were dying to get to my house to record.
I was.
That's what I've heard.
I was telling Paul this morning I did not go to bed until 1 a.m. And so then I woke up for work at 5:30.
Yep.
And I am hyped and full of energy. I torpedo dive onto the bed this morning. And my wife, Gabriella, is like, why do you have so much energy this morning? Like, what? I'm like, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, I didn't go to bed till 1 o'clock. And she's like, looking at me. And then I said, it's podcast recording day. And she rolled her eyes. And I said, and I woke up next to you.
I love that. You said that to me, and I started wheezing early. I thought that was so funny.
We have a huge week.
We do have a big week. This turned out to be a bigger week than expected because we have comic book stuff, but we've also got some cool movie stuff that got announced.
And some cool movie stuff happening too.
Yeah, and some not cool stuff happening. So we've got a little bit of both, and we've got our season finale of Invincible, so that's going to be really cool to get into. So this is going to be a long episode, so get your road snacks, get your Mountain Dew. Wait. I got mine. I cracked it open. You'll hear that in something coming up, hopefully.
But we also want to take a quick moment before we really get started. And we want to say, first off, thank you to everybody who listens, everybody who downloads, everybody who comments, likes, everything. We really, really appreciate that.
Yeah, every episode that we drop is getting bigger and bigger. More people are listening. More people are downloading. More people are commenting. Thank you guys so much for growing, for this super small thing that we just decided to start. And we just did it because we were bored and we just thought it'd be fun. And it is blowing up. So thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you guys for continuing to listen. And please stick with us because we're this ain't slowing down. You know, we're having a good time. And we're just trying to put more and more into every episode that we do.
Right. So one of the things that we also want to thank you for is that if you're not already, please go follow us on Instagram at Comic Nation 1776. We're posting all sorts of stuff related to the podcast, things we talk about. And we have had some big things happen.
We have.
There. We have had, let's just start off with, none of these are small by any means, but let's just start off with some smaller and big build up. We have Jorge Molina. He's an artist. He liked us and followed us.
Yep.
We have Jimmy, and I'm apologize if I butchered this. Is Jimmy Palmoletti?
Jimmy Palmer. Okay.
Okay. He wrote a lot of Harley Quinn stuff, things like that. Pretty big writer. He liked us, and I think he followed us as well. Patrick Gleason.
Oh, we love Patrick Gleason.
We love Patrick Gleason here. Huge shout out. I love his Superman. It's incredible.
I remember when his webbed Spider-Man cover came out and everybody was like, do you have that cover? Do you have that cover? And I remember I bought it just because I was on Spider-Man just pulling and I was like, oh, this is a cool cover. I'll just buy it. And then everybody's like drooling trying to get it. And I don't know if it's still expensive.
I don't know, but he's just an incredible
artist. He's a great artist. Yeah.
I would say top 5 artist right now in the industry.
Yeah.
Incredible. We have Jesus Abertov. I apologize again if I'm butchering that. He is a colorist.
Yep.
Followed us.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. We had, and this is in big relation to what we're going to talk about today.
Yep.
We had Brad Meltzer like our post. Brad Meltzer wrote the main story for the Spider-Man Superman crossover
Number 1
today.
for Marvel. Yes, sir, he did.
And that was insane.
Yep.
And lastly, we had Tom Bancroft, and he is not comic related actually, but he is big. He commented on one of our posts and told us to keep up the good work.
Hey, awesome!
And he is the lead animator for Mulan.
Yep.
Hercules, Aladdin. He worked on Beauty and the Beast.
Yep.
This huge Disney guy.
Yep.
Worked on Lion King. I mean, that's incredible to have something like that.
That's wild.
That blew my mind.
Yep.
So thank you again to all of you who like, subscribe. If you're in the industry, whether you're not in the industry, whether you're just the average Joe just listening, we appreciate you.
We also had one other one on our last episode. We had a huge conversation about like our comics about to tank, or is all this stuff about to happen? Just because we wanted to talk about it, and we made a post on it too. And Kyle Holtz actually commented on that post, which is I love his art, man. Carnage Mind Bomb is one of my favorite. That's my favorite single issue ever. So like seeing him comment comment was like, it was so cool.
Right. You were even worried because he was disagreeing with some of the stuff we said.
He disagreed.
That's totally fine.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you were like, is he mad at us?
Don't let him be mad. I don't want him to be mad at us. Yeah. But yeah, he disagreed, and that's okay. And we talked a little bit about it. Yeah, we do welcome that. I think disagreements are great, and we're gonna disagree a little bit today.
Yes, we are,
because when we get into Spider-Man, Superman, which is gonna be a minute, we're gonna talk about some of the smaller stuff. But we are gonna do a huge ranking of not only just the Marvel issue, but the Marvel and like all of the stories between Spider-Man, Superman, and the DC and the Marvel, all in one big rank. So we've got that coming. And but yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you, comic book people, for being involved. Please keep pitching in. We love it. We call each other all the time, talking about like, hey, this person followed us and this person liked. So thank you so much, and please don't go away.
That's honestly like one of the hardest things. If you're thinking about starting a podcast with your best friend in the whole world, like, that is one of the hardest things. Aww. If there's something you want to talk about later, because it's like, well, I got to save my opinions for the podcast, but I really want to tell you.
There's been many moments where I'm like, I want to tell you about this, but I can't. I read the Spider-Man Superman crossover before he did, and I was like, I want to tell you about this. I can't, because y'all know I'm excited. Yeah. I'm really happy about something. Too.
So, but first, let's get into our weekly pools. And we have just a few things to talk about this week. And I'm going to talk about something that kind of hurts my heart a little bit.
Yep.
So, I am a huge Captain America fan.
Yes, you are.
And I have my personal goal in comics is to collect every Captain America comic from 1968 to when they ended the run in the 90s. Mm-hmm. And I've been collecting Captain America comics for a long time.
Yep.
But I think today is the day I stop collecting Captain America. Moment of silence.
We can't hold it.
We can't. So I am reading Captain America right now by Chip Zdarsky. Mm-hmm. I love Chip Zdarsky. Everything he's written has been incredible. I am so bored with Captain America though that I can't continue to buy it. The price right now is $4.99. It's kind of hard to justify that when $5 could go to a lot of other things, especially about to have a baby. Mm-hmm. Right now in the story, it has so much to do with Dr. Doom. They're overthrowing. Dr. Doom's been overthrown, and now it's this power struggle. And there's these rebels, and the rebels actually aren't really the good guys because they're killing civilians too. And I'm just really bored with it. Yeah. And so, unfortunately, it's getting dropped when $5 could be put towards baby things or stuff like that. So, for the first time since like 2019, I am dropping Captain America.
And you told me that on the phone. And at first I thought you were dropping Superman. And I was like, because I said, are you dropping something? And he went, yeah. And I was like, you're not dropping Absolute Batman, are you? Went, yeah. And I was like, what are you doing? What is wrong with you? And so thank goodness thank goodness that wasn't the case. But you, my friend, you have climbed the mountain that I am having trouble climbing, and I respect you for that, because the way you are trying to collect Captain America, the same with me with Venom, and I've been pulling all the books and I don't like them, and I'm having this hard time telling myself, when do I stop, because I'm spending all this money on something I'm not enjoying, and you finally hit the stop button, and you're making me really reflect.
The way I put it to you was that you're buying paper that you're not going to do anything with. Yeah. And it's just going to sit there. Yep. And that's kind of, I'm not interested in the story. I got caught up only for the podcast. But if it wasn't for the podcast, I wouldn't, I'd been like 5 issues behind because I've not enjoyed it since they started this arc. I guess it'd be 4 issues because this is part 4, but still. Yeah.
And it sucks because I remember you saying, you love Chip Zdarsky. Yeah. And when you said he's going to be writing Cap, like it's going to get really good. Yeah. Like that really sucks. Yeah. That really sucks.
I'm just so bored.
Yeah. What about it makes you so bored? Like, what are some of the things?
I just feel like we should move on from this Dr. Doom stuff, because the first arc is about it. And I guess this is our problem that we talked about last week too, right? Yeah. Everything has to tie in now. So everything that has
Doomsday,
right, and everything with this has tied in. Even the first arc, I let it slide with the first arc because they were introducing this new character, and it was kind of predictable what they were going to do with him, but it was still good. It was still very interesting. So the first arc is that there is this guy who basically became the Captain America of the modern day.
Yeah.
And he witnessed 9/11 happen, so he signed up. He became a soldier. He was discharged because he kind of went John Walker and went a little crazy. And so he's discharged, and then Captain America came back, and then they have to work together to go into Latveria, and they're kind of overthrowing Doctor Doom. This was supposed to be Captain America's first mission straight out of the ice, and that is kind of interesting because my favorite comic that I've ever purchased is Avengers 4, which is the original Silver Age moment when Captain America comes out of the ice. But now we've jumped back to the present day. And so here in the present day, we are telling this story of Latveria is in chaos after the events of One World Under Doom, which I didn't read that event. And here we are. It's like a power struggle. S.H.I.E.L.D. is back, and that's a cool idea. I'm glad S.H.I.E.L.D. is back, but it's just nothing is happening. It took like 3 issues for Captain America to find out that the rebellion that is coming up, that they're actually really not that good guys because they're killing civilians.
Yeah.
And then here in this issue, it's just the moment of them kind of rising up against this rebellion. And then there's this side plot struggle where these S.H.I.E.L.D. agents are struggling. Do we go after Captain America, or do we join him, or like, what do we do? We have orders, blah, 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 blah. And I just don't really care.
Yeah.
There is a cool moment, I'll admit, in this issue where Captain America gets on the radio and he's talking to the resistance leader, and his name is Salvation.
Yeah.
So he's talking to Salvation, and he says, I fought Adolf Hitler. I fought the Red Skull. I'm about to fight you. What does that make you?
Yeah.
So that's kind of
a cool line. Yeah.
But and Chip Zdarsky can write a great Captain America. He did it in the Invaders miniseries that came out several years ago.
Yeah.
I think that was probably 2019, 2018. And so I know he can do a good job. It's just I'm just not invested.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because we have revolved around Doctor Doom for 9 issues. The solicitations for the issues coming out is that Captain America is going to get sent to hell.
Yeah.
And he's going to find Victor Von Doom in hell.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm just bored with it.
Yeah.
And $5 is going to be able to go a lot longer. We've just been in Doctor Doom's wheelhouse for so long that it's like, okay, well, let's get out of here and let's go do other Captain America related things.
Yeah, yeah.
And
well, and also $4.99 is about to turn into $5.99.
right.
So,
and you and I were, and I was getting caught up here before we started recording, and this is a 22 page count.
Yeah.
And I counted them right there with you.
Yeah, you did.
12 of the pages of this 22 page book is ads.
Yep.
You're paying more for basically ads
Yeah.
than you are getting actual story.
Yeah, you're getting more ads than story. You're getting, because it's 22 pages, 12 ads, that's 10 pages of story, which is, so that really sucks.
It sucks.
Yeah, that sucks real bad.
But that's unfortunate news, so that is off the pull list for me.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's a I feel like I just watched a casket close. like that's one of the hardest off the pull lists we've had so far.
That was really tough.
Yep. Oh.
So speaking of a book I am actually enjoying, Superman by Joshua Williamson and Dan Mora. This has been good. I did a post a while back about Superboy Prime, and so Superboy Prime, just recap real quick, is from our universe, and he has come into the DC universe, and he has all the powers of Superman. He was once a villain.
Yeah.
What are you laughing about?
I was just the is that the page that you made me read?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's got that page in it.
So I'll explain that in just a moment. And so he comes into our world. He has all the powers of Superman. He had done this before, but he was a villain, so now he's trying to redeem himself. And so one of the things here that he's doing, this is really what stands out in the book, this and one other moment that I'll explain in just a moment, but he works in a comic book shop. And there's this really beautiful woman that comes in, and they're talking comics.
Yeah.
And she says, well, if you ever want to know more, borrow some trades, check out my long boxes, you can come over to my place. And he's like, why would I do that? I work in a comic book store. I'm like, oh, my brother, this is a generational fumble, my man.
Brother, Lock in. What are you doing?
No, he just missed
She's
it,
inviting
bro.
you over to read comics. Are you stupid?
Oh man, this kind of woman only comes around once a generation.
Yeah, literally, brother, lock in.
Yeah. So, anyways, he goes then and he works with Damian Wayne, and he's on a little case with him, and he's like, "How did you do it? How did you make people hate you? And then now you have come around to you're one of the most beloved characters." And Damian's like, "I don't care what people think of me. We've just got to go stop Clayface." Which is going to tie into something we're going to talk about here later.
It is.
But he's like, I just got to stop Clayface. And so Superboy Prime helps him out. And eventually Superboy Prime is like, okay, well, I got to go. I got to go start my shift at the comic book store. I don't want to get fired. And Robin's like, just so you know, I actually do care what people think about me. It required a lot of hard work. But, I really worked on myself. And so that was like a
cool.
sweet moment.
Yeah.
And
Especially coming from Damian Wayne,
yeah.
And
you see Superboy Prime be like, did we just become best friends?
You're like, okay, you're not an asshole.
However, turns out the generational fumble, the girl that was beautiful in the comic book store, the issue ends and she is actually apparently a witch.
Oh no,
villain.
she's evil.
Yeah.
So see, he just knows. He knows how this works.
I guess so. But
He's read this issue already.
He did. So it is on the pull list for sure. I'm definitely enjoying where they're going. I would like Superman to come back, but after the events of DCKO, he is going to be out for a little while. He's kind of, I think, if I remember correctly, he's like saving the multiverse right now.
Okay.
So he's like doing all that, and he had dark side energy. Blah blah. This.
Yeah.
So
he's with Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's with Spider-Man
He's
right now.
literally with Spider-Man right now. That makes sense. That kind of works out a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I didn't think about that. But I enjoy this. So this is on the pull list for me. Now you have something you really want to talk about.
Yeah, I can talk about something that doesn't work out. I only have one pull list book this week, which was The Amazing Spider-Man issue 27. Again, the only reason I'm pulling Amazing Spider-Man is just because of the Death Spiral event, because it ties into Venom, and it's a flip-flop back and forth story that goes from Venom to Spider-Man. We have one more part left. We are at part, what is this? 7, 6? No, 8. This is part 8. See, I'm just throwing a 6-7 joke in there.
You're just brain rotted.
My the brain in my rot is rotting hard. That didn't even make sense. This book has got me pissed. Let me tell you, I'm ready to talk about it. So
you should have seen him reading it.
I closed the book and I was like, "Oh, Clayton, I'm so mad." And he was like, "Why?" And I was like, I can't tell you until we get on the show."
So I have no idea what Paul is mad about, but when he was reading it, I wish you could have seen it. I've never seen Paul get that mad reading a comic.
Pretty much the reason why I'm upset is because, reading an event like this that also ties into another book means that I have to start picking up an additional book every month. Right. So, and this is weekly. So literally for, I don't know, I guess 8 weeks now, I've just been getting Death Spiral, which that feels really weird. That feels like it's not been that long. But there's one more part left. It's the final. It's called the Death Count issue, which is supposed to be the origin of Torment, because we
finally. Oh no!
I'm excited to read it because the few takeaways from this book is we start off with Spider Carnage. The Carnage symbiote has bonded with Spider-Man. Because Spider-Man was about to die, and the Carnage symbiote was about to die, and in this new age of symbiote lore that doesn't make sense, the symbiotes have to bond to people so they don't die, and it's stupid. And he bonds with Spider-Man, completely takes him over. So Spider-Man is fighting Torment, trying to kill him. Yeah. And Carnage is like, I know what you want, Peter. I know deep down what you really want to do. So let's make it happen. He doesn't kill anybody. So before you give me that look, and you're like, yeah, he doesn't kill anybody.
Well, I'm also thinking, why would Peter want to kill Torment after his last reaction when Paul died? He's like, yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, I kind of like him. He he gets rid of the people we don't like. Too bad he can't get rid of the writers and editors.
For legal reasons, that is a joke.
Yeah. But so the story. We get Spider Carnage, and Spider Carnage is kind of cool. He has these little Carnage spiders crawling on him.
That's cool.
And he shoots them at people, and it's like, out of the spider's butt is like the web, and that's what connects it to the
Okay.
hand. So spiders are like clinging on to Venom at one point and to Torment, and they're crawling all over him, and it's really freaky.
Okay.
Really, but it's cool deal. But in the subconscious, you can see Spider-Man fighting Carnage, sort of.
Oh, okay.
It's weird. Carnage pretty much consumes him, and Spider-Man's out. But then they grab. He shoots those spiders onto Torment's shocker gauntlet, and yanks the gauntlet off.
Okay.
Because one of the things Carnage talks about when he's talking to Peter is how much like he loves to kill and this, that, and the other. But he's like, but one of my favorite things to do is flay. I love to flay. And when he rips the gauntlet off, it's just dead meat under the dude's hand.
Oh man.
And so, and again, Spider-Man's just not in control.
Yeah.
Well, Eddie Brock comes back from the last issue, which, he was in a hospital bed, and he had, real quick recap, he had gotten rid of the Carnage symbiote. He was sort of dying. They had to put him in a hospital bed. And Venom J was like, hey, we hate you, bye, die. And then Dylan's sitting there going, I hate you too, Dad, but I'm going to sit here with you because I'm obligated to.
Wow.
Yeah, but he comes back, and he takes Shocker's gauntlet, and he blasts Spider Carnage with it, and the suit flies off of Carnage. Or off of Spider-Man. So we go back into the subconscious and we see Spider-Man holding Carnage with his hand. Like Carnage is just a little Carnage in his hand. And his spider is glowing on his chest. And Peter's like, I'm sorry, Carnage, but I'm ridding you. All your murderous ways are going to be killed with hope and whatever. And he stuffs Carnage into the glowing spider, which means they come out into the real world and Carnage is laying there. The symbiote's trying to crawl away. Then it dies. And then Spider-Man stands up. Eddie Brock is on the ground. Like, he's knocked out from, I guess, this shocker blast. And Agent Anti-Venom's all of a sudden there. And he's like, hey, man, I'm here to, like, we gotta go stop Torment. He's going after Aunt May and Annie Watson.
Right.
Anna Watson. And so Spider-Man's walking away, and he's like, thanks, Eddie, but I still really don't like you. And it's like, what? Where's that coming from?
Right.
What is that about? And Eddie literally just freaking saved you.
Yeah.
Like, screw you, Peter.
So why does everybody hate Eddie?
I don't know. It makes no sense. It literally makes no sense. And on top of that, we get a page turn, and Spiral has fled the scene now that they were dealing with Spider Carnage.
Torment?
Torment. Okay. Yes, Torment has fled the scene, and he's in the stairwell where Aunt May and Anna Watson are leaving, and they bump into him.
Oh, no.
And he's like, hey, you guys can't get away from me that easy. Like, the spirals must be completed.
Yeah.
And then in a page turn, the art is different. A new artist hops in a page turn, and Venom J busts through the window, grabbing Torment, taking him outside, and taking his face and slamming it to the building while he runs up the building. So Venom is like running up the building while grinding his face on the brick. And
like the ultimate Spider-Man video game.
Yeah, literally. They get to the top, and Venom J, with that, if you don't know what that means, that's Venom MJ, because that's what they call it, which is so stupid. They throw Torment against the corner of the building, and you see his face. Guess who he is, Clayton?
Is it Paul?
No.
Oh gosh, I don't know. Robbie Robertson.
No.
Who is it?
Nobody.
What do you mean nobody?
It's just a person.
Just an average.
It's just a dude. I don't know who it is. I have they don't ask like, who even are you? Just a dude. He's just a guy. Yep. Huh. Yeah. And this is the only cool part about this book. This is the only cool thing that I was like, that's interesting, but I do not feel like they're going to do anything with it.
Okay.
Venom or MJ. I'm just going to say Venom because Venom is MJ right now.
Right.
Venom picks up Torment by the neck and holds Torment over the building and is looking at him and is like, you were trying to kill all these people. Like, you don't belong on this planet. You don't belong on this world.
Okay. Yeah.
And you should be rid. And he's talking about how oh yeah, you love that Peter guy, don't you? Like, don't you really love him? And you love Paul and all these people. He's like, I'll wipe their face off. And it's like, I'll wipe them off the face of the earth, and I'll take Peter and I'll strangle him with his own guts or whatever. And she throws him off the building.
Oh, man.
And he falls and he dies.
Wow. Okay.
And MJ goes, was that you or me? And the symbiote says, I don't know.
Huh.
And at that moment, Spider-Man and Anti-Venom swing up behind, and they're like, where's Torment? And then it just cuts. right there. No interaction about that death. No conversation. We get this final like we're wrapping it up now.
Yeah.
Part of the story. Peter and MJ are on the phone talking. They're not. And MJ's talking kind of about. I think she's kind of talking about the situation.
Okay.
She's talking about how this doesn't really feel like a win.
Right.
A lot of people died and this, that, and the other. And Peter's like, well, how are things? And she's like, well, Flash came by. And he's like, oh, I thought you weren't seeing Flash. And she's like, yeah, well, he came by and, I just talked to him, but I didn't really feel good about anything. I just vented to him pretty much. And she's holding a picture. Or no. Then it cuts to Flash holding a picture of her and MJ in high school, of him and MJ in high school, pushing Peter away while he's being bullied. Or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, that didn't happen. What is that? And then we cut to Eddie Brock, who has been arrested and is in prison. And Dylan is outside the jail cell being like, and he puts his hood over his head and walks away. And that's the end of the book. That's it. That's Death Spiral.
What?
Exactly.
Do these writers hate Eddie?
That's why. We know what Eddie's been through, right?
Right.
Especially if we look back at Donny Cates, we know the pivotal change of Eddie's character,
right,
and being a father and all these things that he's become. Mm-hmm. Now he bonds with the Carnage suit because Al Ewing wanted us to be like, well, someone had to keep it under control, so he did it. Right. And in the end, they just let him go, or they just arrest him, and that's it. There's no
But why? For what reason?
And Spider-Man's like, screw you, Eddie. You suck. He literally saved you. He saved you. He stopped you from killing MJ. He was about to kill Venom J.
Yeah.
Literally, because he was Spider Carnage. And what? Why are we going back to this old stuff? Eddie hasn't been in prison. I don't think I remember the last time he was in prison, except for the time when Carnage was pretending to be Eddie so he could kill Lee Price. That was it. But
and you're telling me Spider-Man defeated Carnage with basically the power of love?
Pretty much, yeah. And then it shows some cockroaches in the sewer eating some, I guess, dead meat. It looks like gum, honestly. Okay. And then one of the cockroach turns into a Carnage cockroach and then attacks a rat. So I guess he's doing that thing like he did at the end of... Literally, this is what happened at the end of Absolute Carnage, where he bonded with the shark.
Right.
It's okay, so we're just doing... well, now, Carnage isn't dead. He's gonna build his way back up again.
Yeah.
What are we doing, Spider-Man team? And it makes me so mad because Eddie's character development has literally went nowhere.
Yeah.
It went to something great, and then it has been watered down right back to where he was in the 19 whenevers.
Right.
And it's we're past Eddie Brock being in prison. We're past him being a villain. Mm-hmm. We're past these things. These things are not normal anymore. And Carnage, he's just an evil symbiote.
Right.
And Torment, you missed the biggest opportunity to make him Cletus Cassidy.
Yeah.
That was my thought.
Or just anybody.
It could have been anybody. It could have been, but what I have been told is that the final issue, the part 9, which is the
wrap it up.
It's called the body count issue.
Yeah.
That is supposed to be the origin of Torment. But I don't care because he's dead. So what does it matter? He's nobody. There was no big reveal of this is who I am, right? Or I'm this person, or I'm that. And the book ends, which I guess this ending will lead more towards Amazing Spider-Man. One of his distant cousins, because Spiral's about to kill a distant relative of Peter, one of his cousins,
sure,
whatever, and Spider-Man saved him, and he's like, "Wait, did he just say we were cousins?" And Spider-Man's like, "Oh, he's crazy. Don't listen to what he's saying. Bye." Yeah. And now that guy is doing something to figure out who Spider-Man is. He's like, "I need you to go through my bloodline. I need to figure out who my cousin is." Huh. So I guess that's where Spider-Man's going. I don't really care. I'm dropping Amazing Spider-Man after this. I'm not I don't care enough to keep reading it. The art change was good. I liked the second art that came in. I liked it better than the original, but what are we doing? Because now my only thing that I'm left with is I'm just I read this because I was excited to figure out who Torment was. I thought he was cool. I thought he looked cool. He had an interesting story. But he's just nobody.
Right.
He's a nothing character. And sure, I'm excited. I would like to be excited about Venom bonded with MJ, killed somebody.
Right.
MJ killed someone.
Yeah.
What does that mean? But it's not going to mean anything.
No.
Because the only thing that this team, Al Ewing and the Spider-Man team have taught me is that nothing means anything.
Yeah.
Just read the book and enjoy it.
Right.
Here's your lunch tray. Enjoy it. Bye.
Right.
So I'm really disappointed in this. I'm really disappointed in this event as a whole. The characters, the characterization of Spider-Man and Carnage and Venom and the symbiote and MJ, like these aren't the characters that I've been reading.
Right.
These aren't that. Like Spider-Man should be worried about Eddie.
Right.
Spider-Man cared about Eddie in Absolute Carnage.
He should have been worried about Paul.
And yeah, he should have been worried about Paul. He should have been worried about Eddie. He should be worried about MJ. And like, where was that conversation on the roof?
Right.
Venom or
That's
MJ
a big deal.
just killed somebody.
Right.
And Peter and Flash, who are both romantic interests for MJ now, are standing behind her when this happened.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do you mean you threw him off the roof?
Right.
What is wrong with you? Like that starts a conflict right there. And it just doesn't matter. So the Spider-Man books, nothing matters anymore. And the only question I have is like this makes me not want to read, like this makes me want to stop Marvel at all. Genuinely.
Honestly, yeah, like honestly, we're at that point with Marvel, and in our post that we did last week for the last episode, people have been talking about how Marvel, it's a lot of these problems go back to like what Marvel's doing. And they said that there's a rumor right now that Chip Zdarsky and Jonathan Hickman have come together, and on a recent podcast somewhere, and I have not double checked this, so don't quote me.
Yeah.
But they said that those two have gotten together and basically said Marvel is very much behind, and we have got to catch up. We've got to get our act together.
Yeah.
And so they're supposedly working behind the scenes to kind of fix these problems, but man, I'm not saying it's too little too late, but I am saying like you've dug yourself a really big hole.
It's at the point where you wonder, like, how are we going to undo this?
Right.
Because this has been building for years now. I mean, we're 5 to 6 years into this being built.
Right.
These stories and these character changes. And it's like all of this building has been for nothing.
Yeah.
Like everything that's happened with Spider-Man has been for nothing. Everything that's happened with Venom has been for nothing. Everything that's happened with Carnage has been literally for nothing because we're right back where we started. And it's like, I understand that. I understand it's like, oh, we want to go back to the status quo. But excuse my language, but who fucking cares? Like, who fucking cares about the status quo?
Yeah.
I don't. I want to read where these stories are going. I want these characters to continue to build higher and higher. I want Venom to be the King in Black. I want to see those things. I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
And now I have to read Queen in Black, which I really don't care about. Yeah. And I'm so disappointed in the Spider-Man office. I'm so disappointed because what was the point in this? I was really excited about Death Spiral, and I was going into it like, oh, this is going to be cool, and like we're going to get so hopefully like this feels like a Venom story. It ended with nothing. It ended literally with nothing. And maybe Peter and MJ will talk, but I know they're going to undo it. So what does it matter?
Right. Marvel knows what we want.
Yeah.
DC even knows what we want because in this issue of Superman 37 that came out this week, there's a scene. Remember, he's working at a comic store, right? And so there's a moment where he's like, the owner is saying, I know you're a little passionate about some of these things in comics. And it cuts to a panel of Superboy Prime arguing, and he's like, they should be married.
Yeah.
So they know.
Yeah, they know.
Literally know.
They literally know. So
like you don't even have to say it's Peter and MJ. That's all he says. They should be married. So Marvel knows that's what we want, but they'll never do it again.
Nope. And and please listen to our last episode where we covered that. Listen to our Ultimate Spider-Man episode. We covered that on there too. But I'm very disappointed in Spider-Man, and the Spider-Man office. Al Ewing, Joe Kelly, Lore Lovin, Lore hang it from a tree low, like I'm so disappointed in these people. I have loved Spider-Man. I've loved Venom my whole life, and I have never read a story or read these characters and it be this just like, what are y'all doing?
Right.
Like, what are you doing? And just to see Eddie back in prison for literally helping kills me. That makes me want to like throw up.
Yeah.
Because now it's just like, well, okay, I guess Eddie's just gone. Bye, Eddie. We needed you out of the book. Bye. You know, Carnage has been canceled because Carnage got canceled a long time ago because it wasn't selling. So they canceled that series because that was where Eddie Brock was at. Right. And now that Carnage is back to bonding with animals until he becomes powerful again in a couple of years, I don't know.
You said another. Well, this is a cool cover that you got here for Amazing Spider-Man 27. It's the Target cover.
The Target variants.
And so that's not like Target the superstore, but that's Target. Like there's these big characters, and then down there at the bottom is the small character who's supposedly going to die or something major is going to happen. This issue has Venom and Spider-Man as giants, and then Eddie's kind of tiny.
Yeah.
And then you said though that they're doing these variants because that's what they're trying to show. That reveals everything you need to know there. That's a gimmick.
And they've been classified. So when you go on like League of Comic Nations, you can't see the cover. Like I had to go to the comic book store and I was like, "Hey, can you show me what the secret cover was?"
Okay.
And I don't care to know the spoilers, so that's why I asked. And I saw that it was Eddie, and I was like, "If they kill Eddie, I might be really mad." Yeah. So they didn't, but
they still got his character has been assassinated.
His character has been 100% assassinated. The symbiote's character has been assassinated. Right. MJ is not MJ anymore. Peter is just not, like, none of these characters are what they used to be. Even Flash ain't who he used to be. Everything is just read as just not what it was, and that just, like, being a symbiote fan and a Venom fan right now sucks really bad. And, like, I hate that that's just where we've gotten, but, like, I don't know what to do anymore.
Right.
And I'm at the point with you with Captain America, like, I want to drop this. And the thing that sucks is I'm so, like, here's the part that sucks.
Right.
I'm really curious to know how much more they're going to set this dumpster on fire. But also, it makes me mad. So I don't know, like, should I keep doing this? Should I not? Because I'm also supporting it. And I don't want to support the book that's doing things that I absolutely can't stand. So, Marvel, if you're listening, please sit down and just and think about things a little bit harder. Think about this story a little bit harder. Think about Queen of Blacks. I'm sure it's a gimmick all in its own. I mean, they're doing blind bags, so who cares?
Right.
I did buy one. I'm going to open it on the show as a gimmick. Yes. But that's really it.
But it's like, do you want to sell books? Like, it's that joke, like, oh, it's Spider-Man. I got to buy Spider-Man. You know, people are like that. But that's the only audience that you basically have left anymore.
Yeah.
If you really want to sell books, give us what we've asked for 20 years now.
And also, read your books.
Read your books.
Because these people are putting things out that are not consistent.
Right.
These are not consistent character arcs. These are not consistent stories.
Right.
Like, again, that Lore, Love, and Low line in the beginning of this event bothers me because it's like you aren't consistent with lore.
Right.
So why are you saying that you're the Lore, Love, and Low? You're not. So, like, do your homework. Yeah. If you're going to be writing these books, if you're going to make a movie, if you're going to write a book, if you're going to do something based on a fictional character that is popular, do your homework. Because people, us fans, we do our homework because we love it. We're nerds. Right. We read these because it's fun. You read it because you get paid to do it.
Right.
I don't know. I think
the same.
We are not the same. The argument that I'm making is just the people who write these books should be fans.
Yeah.
These people who are writing Spider-Man right now and Venom clearly are not fans.
Yeah.
So there's your review on Amazing Spider-Man Death Spiral. I'm still going to buy Venom. I will buy the finale issue just to give it a close on here. I don't know if I'm going to read Venom. I don't know.
So time to rank it. Is it on or off?
This is an off the pull list book.
Okay.
This book is it is entertaining. I'll give it that. It is interesting, and you are invested. But it gets to the point where we are at the finale, and I could have skipped this book, and it wouldn't have mattered. Now, again, we got to see Spider Carnage. That's exciting. We got to see MJ kill someone. Like, I would do if I was writing this book, I'd freaking carry that forever. I would never drop that.
Right.
You know, like, but I know they're not going to do anything.
Like, there'll be one issue where she's like, well, I think I killed somebody. And then the symbiote will be like, no, I think I killed it.
Yeah. And that'll just be it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Thanks for
thanks for taking the blame. Yeah. You know, so that makes me feel better. And then it's a joke and you move on. And it's like, you know, this is an off the pull list. I feel after getting to this point, I feel like I've wasted my time and my money reading it. Now I've been excited to talk about it on the show.
Sure.
And it's still like I'm glad that I can voice my opinion somewhere.
Right.
But that's how I feel.
All right. Well, let's move from disappointment garbage to something that brings us both great joy.
Oh.
A story that does both of our characters excellence.
Yes.
And that is the Spider-Man Superman crossover. Now, this is different.
Yes.
Because we did review the Superman Spider-Man, which was published by DC.
That is true.
And so this one is different. This is the Spider-Man Superman. I know flipping the words around is it's a big difference.
A little weird.
But Marvel published this one. Mm-hmm. And in our last episode, when we reviewed the crossover, we said, oh, maybe Marvel will be better.
And then we were like, "Oh, I can't believe we just said that." Yeah. Now, the reason we didn't like that issue, not that we didn't like it. I think that we enjoyed it.
We did.
The problem was that we both agreed that there were too many stories being told, and that still sticks with this.
Stands.
So there are still problems with this, but the stories that are being told in this issue are better and are more entertaining than previously.
Yes.
So, and again, I still have a little bit of a disagreement with that, but we'll get into it.
So, opening up this story was incredible. Brad Meltzer and Pepe Larraz are the writers and the writer and the artist for this story. We start off, and this is something you brought up when we kind of were talking about it. Dude, you can just tell. I'm so excited. I'm
ready to get to it.
This is something you kind of brought up that you're like, there should have been a little bit more to a beginning of this story because we don't really know what happened, but we open up and Spider-Man and Superman are kind of trapped.
Yeah.
They're trapped in some rubble and they're kind of figuring out like, who are you?
Who are you? And like Superman's doing his X-ray to be like, well, I just gotta make sure you don't have any kryptonite on you. He's like, what the heck, man? You X-raying me?
And why do you carry a watch in your pocket? Is one of the things that Superman asks. And he's like, what? No, stop looking at me. I feel gross. Yeah. I don't know if you even noticed, like in the panel, he like covers himself. But so they're talking and you see like an opening at the top and a Green Goblin, a pumpkin bomb falls in.
Yep.
And releases kryptonite gas. And as it's caving in, the cave is caving in on him. Spider-Man's holding it up, and he's like, just talk to me. Like, I need you to talk to me.
Yeah.
Like, ask me a question.
Yeah.
And Superman says, why do you do it? And he's like, what do you mean, why do I do it? I'm holding this big thing. What do you mean, why do I do it? Yeah. I'm holding it to not let you die.
Yeah.
He's like, no, why do you be a hero? Mm-hmm. And Spider-Man says, out of guilt. Mm-hmm. And he kind of... It almost reminded me of what Spider-Man gives Iron Man in Civil War. Mm-hmm. He's like, when Iron Man asks him, why do you do it? And he's like, when you have the ability to do the things that I do and you don't do them and then the bad things happen, that's on you. Yeah. And that's kind of what he tells Superman. Yeah. When you have the ability and you don't do it, that's on you now. Yeah. And Superman, is like, I get it. And then... there's a moment of explosion.
Yeah, there's this flash where they both see into each other's lives.
Yes.
And I think this is where they both realize who each other are.
Yes.
Because he's like, Clark Kent, Peter Parker?
Yeah.
And after that moment, I love that immediately Spider-Man, Peter, calls Superman Mr. Kent.
Yeah.
He's like, Mr. Kent. Like, he's like, like that immediately, once he knows, he's like, I got to be respectful now,
Right.
And... because something has touched both of them.
Yes.
And this explains why Spider-Man's Spidey sense also was not working.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm geeking out.
Yeah.
And the rubble has been lifted. No, it's not been lifted, but it's there in a bigger space.
Yeah.
And he looks at Superman, and this black goo is covering him slowly. Yeah. And then we explode to a splash page where Spider-Man is swinging away from Venomized Superman. Holy shit! Oh my god,
dude, it was so awesome.
My jaw dropped when I saw that. I was like, no freaking way! Like. Yes. Oh my gosh. And this is so funny because forever, as long as me and Clayton have known each other, my favorite character has been Venom. One of his favorite characters has been Superman. And they did a crossover a long time ago.
Probably early 2000s, late 90s.
Yeah. And Venom and Superman fought and Venom won.
Yeah.
And we had this gag where I love rage baiting Clayton. And I'm like, yeah, Venom beat the crap out of Superman, and he's like, what? No, no, Superman would totally win. And I'm like, but he didn't.
And I try to bring up the argument like that only happened because in the other crossover between Batman and Hulk, the Marvel was mad that they allowed Hulk to beat Batman.
Yep.
You know, I'm like, so that's the only reason this happened.
And I was like, nope, he won. It don't matter.
Or Batman beat the Hulk.
I was like, it don't matter. Who cares? Venom won. It's in there. It's out.
Like,
no. So we got a little bit of a handshake that then turned into Clayton smacking my hand, and now we are tied.
We are tied. So not only do we get Venomized Superman, and he's fighting with the symbiote, but you know, and you see Lex and you see Green Goblin kind of watching, and you hear the symbiote and it's like talking and it's talking out loud, and there's one moment. And the symbiote's like, Lex, he's fighting me, and you just see like Superman's heat vision just
shoot out of the top of the symbiote.
That's a cool panel.
That is a really sick panel.
And it's still fighting him and it's trying to argue with him. And this is the moment I was like, oh, I won. Because the symbiote says he's doing something with our arms. We're not strong enough. Yeah. And Superman does a super clap.
Yeah. Boom. And then when he claps, the symbiote shoots off of him, which is an amazing panel. Which actually, I flipped through this book and I saw that panel. I didn't see him actually Venomized. Right. I saw that panel and I was like, I need to not look through this anymore. Yeah. Something Venom happens. And unfortunately, I owe you dinner. and unfortunately for you, you don't owe me.
I don't owe you dinner.
I have to starve. Oh, no.
But the art in this story is incredible because then the next page, we get like a tap on Lex and Green Goblin's shoulder, and they turn around, and it is a beautiful panel of Superman and Spider-Man saying, fight back. Please.
Yeah, and they both got their fist ready, and it's like it's a mirroring image of both of them. Yeah. And then we cut to Peter at the cemetery talking to Uncle Ben's tombstone.
Yes, I think it says like 3 weeks have passed.
Yeah,
and Clark Kent shows up. And he's like, my spider sense still didn't go off or something. He says something like that. Yeah.
He's like, oh, no, he says, I made your spider sense go off, didn't I? Yeah. And he's like, oh, Mr. Kent. And he's like, please call me Clark.
You're right. And he's like, I thought I'd find you here. And then he says, that watch, it was your uncle's, right? And he's like, it's a reminder. And he's like, yes, it is. And then they're going off to visit Superman's parents, Pa and Ma Kent. And they go over there, and they kind of have a little bit of back and forth. He's like, is it okay if I bring my Aunt May? And he's like, of course. Yeah. May and Ma will get along just fine.
Or they'll beat each other.
Yeah. You underestimate Kansas. Well, I think you underestimate Queens.
It's like, you haven't seen Queens, buddy. Yeah.
And so they go, and it's a beautiful, there's no like text. It's a beautiful moment, just like the two families interacting. Yeah. And now you might have to fill in here, but I'm remembering that they said that Superman says you were wrong, and Spider-Man's like, why was I wrong? And this is as they're like washing dishes after dinner, and he's like, why am I wrong? He's like, well, you said you did this out of guilt. He's like, but you don't, and I believe he says you do it because you have a responsibility. You do it out of responsibility. Not guilt.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they say that in the cemetery before they got to
okay.
Because the ending is just literally them just having a good time.
And there was a cool moment where they're like, where Pa Kent says, "I would have liked to have met your Uncle Ben. That sounds like we would have been friends."
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
I like that's cool.
Yeah, because that throws back to the other DC crossover. Where so, this. I want to talk about my problems with this story specifically. This is the main story, so I have my only problem, and like this probably isn't. Is it who writes? Is it Brad Meltzer?
This is Brad Meltzer. Okay. Yeah.
And I hope Brad. I hope you're listening. If you are,
I hope you are too.
So glad you're here.
Thank you for
giving us Venomized Superman. I'm
awesome.
so glad. But my only critique, and again, this book falls with the same problem that the first one did. Is that there are too many stories in this. There's too many side stories. I would have rather had this been the entire story.
Oh, yeah.
And Because when you flip out, when you see that big panel of Venom and Spider-Man,
Right.
or Venom, Superman, and Spider-Man, they get there are all these villains around in this, I guess what was a big fight.
Right.
So we miss all this stuff happening, right? We have Lex Luthor and Green Goblin, like Green Goblin's they both have Goblin gliders.
Yeah.
And Green Goblin has a Lex Luthor tech Goblin suit.
Right.
And there's just no explanation to that. It's very quick, because this feels like what should have been a big, oh crap for Spider-Man moment of like, oh my gosh, now I have to fight Venom, like my greatest foe bonded with my greatest ally.
You're right.
And I wish this would have taken up the whole story, because right when they're about to start, like right when he breaks free of the symbiote and he's about to start fighting, it cuts, and I'm just like, no, like I wanted more of that. And I don't think it's Brad's fault. I think it's just because of he didn't have a lot to work with the page count.
Right.
But I would have loved to got a bigger story with this.
Yes.
I would have loved to seen, more of the before, more of like the after, and just really focus on this fight and Superman and Spider-Man's alliance, because also they start to bond in this cave or in this rubble,
they have this really
and it's
sweet
like,
moment.
what if they're having a hard time working together? Like, what if we start with that hard time, that happens, and that's the moment of like, all right, let's lock in, and then Venom comes into play at some point, right? I don't know. That's my only critique with this, and I'm just being a little bit heavier critiquing on this one because I liked it so much, and it's the main story. But yes, I would have loved to got a bigger story out of this. But Brad, thank you so much for giving us a Venomized Superman. Me and Clayton can finally sleep at night knowing that he finally beat me. So
I want to correct what I said earlier. So Superman says that you're right. They are at the gravesite. And Superman says, I actually came because when we were trapped, what you said, you don't do it because of guilt. Spider-Man says, Mr. Kent.
Yeah.
And Superman says, Clark, trust me on this. Yeah. It's never been about guilt, Peter. You do it because great people, kind people, they taught you it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And man, it's just, gosh, I want a whole series.
Yeah.
I would buy.
That's what I was thinking while reading this. Yeah.
Of Pepe Larraz doing the art, Brad Meltzer doing the story. This is, I'm just going to go ahead and admit it, this is the best Superman Spider-Man story that has come from these crossovers.
Yeah, we both are like, we don't know really what's on each other's like list, but we both know for a fact this is number one.
Right.
This is the best story out of all of them. And to get that story and to get, again, it should have been a bigger book. We should have gotten a kind of like the original Super Size, which I actually have sitting here.
Yes,
we do have an original sitting here on our table. This should have been just a bigger story about them. And I think if Marvel does this again, Marvel, please give this a series.
Yeah.
Or DC, give this a series.
Please.
Yeah, somebody give it a series.
I'll buy every single one.
And have Brad freaking write it. And Brad, you just keep doing what you're doing. Please put Venom in it.
And Pepe Larraz, please, because your art is incredible.
Yeah, the art was very good. I love about the Venom Superman, his Superman symbol has legs coming off of it. I think that's so cool. And also, he doesn't have a Venom mouth.
No, he doesn't.
You see through the symbiote, his mouth open, like in the wrinkles of it, and I think that looks really cool. So it's definitely a different, like, if you, like, I like the Venom mouth, but it can be, especially where every character is Venomized now. Like, you see it all the time, and I think it not being in this was really cool.
I think that was, so this, I know you've not seen it. I know you've not seen it, but in Superman,
yes, I still haven't seen
the
Superman.
movie,
I'm so sorry.
there is a moment. I'll forgive you, I guess.
Is Venom in it?
It feels like they were trying to do Venom almost.
Okay.
There's like nanites that kind of act almost like a symbiote, and it gets on him. And there's a moment. It feels like this moment in the movie almost, where it's like covering him. It's like in his mouth. It's everything. And the moment with the heat vision is like almost feels straight from the movie.
Yeah.
It was just so cool, man. Oh, I'm still nerding out.
I wonder if he had inspiration from the movie. Yeah,
probably.
But yes, so easily that was a fantastic.
Oh yeah,
that was a fantastic story. I wish it was longer. I wish that they would have cut half of these stories out and just have put that in there. We don't need. How many stories? This issue had 9 stories.
Yeah.
The DC one had 8.
Right.
So This one had one extra story. I just think that we just don't need that many stories
Honestly,
in a crossover.
No, honestly, I think what would have been like a great idea would have been you could still stick with like the Spider-Man Superman tagline,
Yeah,
and still do like an issue 1, but like each story maybe its own issue.
yeah,
And I think that that way you could have like fleshed out the story a little bit more.
yeah.
But
Or have some kind of a DC crossover, like a bigger, instead of it just being a one issue thing.
Right.
Because again, this has the same thing of like, we want to tell this story. We want to see what, Ghost Spider and Supergirl do. But it's like, I want to see Spider-Man and Superman.
Right.
I want to see everybody interacting in the same story,
Right.
not in multiple story. Like, I want to see a big thing with everybody in it. Even if it's just like, because I'm curious, I would be curious to know like Lex Luthor and Green Goblin.
Right.
Like,
right.
how was their tie working?
Right.
Like, what does Lex Luthor think about like Norman being a businessman, but being psychotic?
Right.
Because Lex isn't to that level psychotic.
Right.
So like, I would love to see that interaction. Where did Venom even come from in this issue? Right. Like he could have been there fighting and just been like, I want that guy, and abandons whoever he's bonded to. And I think what would have been a really cool throwback?
What's that?
If Venom was bonded to Angelo Fortunato. And because do you know who that is?
No, I'm not.
There was that one of the hosts of right before the symbiote bonded with Matt Gargan, he was bonded with Angelo Fortunato, who was a mafia boss's kid, and he was a weenie. And Venom is jumping or him bonding to the symbiote is jumping from building to building, and Venom's like, "You suck, screw you," and jumps off of him, and he falls and dies. Literally, like, I'm not kidding. So imagine if that happened, and the symbiote's like, "I want him," and just leaves Angelo, and he just falls and dies again. And bonds with Sue. I don't know, just something like that. I would have loved to seen that. I would have loved to see more. Gosh, I want to see more Venom and Superman.
Yeah.
Like that was really, especially all this Venom stuff being sucky right now. That was really refreshing.
It was
that was such
good.
a refreshing story.
Oh man, it was incredible. So the next story,
was
the Spider-Man Noir and Superman. Golden Age Superman.
Yeah, Golden Age Superman.
All right, I'll take it away.
Yeah, you go for
it.
This was good.
In this story, we have a little bit of like Spider-Man Noir, and he's going after Lex Luthor. And so you see him kind of, it feels very noir. This is Dan Slott and Marcos Martin writing this. And it feels kind of noir. You kind of have that, it was a dark and dreary day. Yeah. And so he finally beats his way and he gets to Lex Luthor.
Yep.
And he pulls out a gun.
Yep.
And he shoots at Lex.
Yeah.
And
oh wait. Yeah, go ahead. No, you go ahead, please. I'll jump in a minute.
Yeah. So he shoots a gun at Lex, and this is really cool because you just see like the moment
the bullet fires.
Yes.
Yep.
So I don't know if you noticed, but in that page it says bang.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
And
I noticed that.
It's like slow down. So each letter is like a different moment of like the bullet traveling, but then you see this blur like run up the building.
Yep.
And then even like the sound effect for the bullet is like, and it's like bounces off of Superman, and he's like, "No, we have to keep him alive. He's got to testify." He busts through, blocks the bullet before it hits Lex. Spider-Man Noir is basically like, "I don't know who you are, but you're saving Lex Luthor, and that makes you a criminal," and it kind of webs him up.
Yep.
He's like, "This should hold you." And Superman just busts out of it.
Yep.
And then he grabs him, and I didn't notice this at first, but when we talked about it, Superman grabs Lex, and he jumps out of the building. He pulls the Amazing Fantasy 15 pose, and kind of runs off.
Yep.
And then the next page is J. Jonah Jameson saying, "I'm innocent. I'm glad Lex squealed. I'm innocent. Thank goodness." Which again, this story suffers from the rest of it.
Right.
If it was longer, we would have known why is J. Jonah Jameson basically on trial?
Yeah. Why
is he on the electric chair?
Yeah.
But we don't get that.
We don't. And one of my favorite things about this that was so cool, it's Spider-Man Noir's dialogue.
Yes.
And when he shoots the gun, it says, "That should have been it. That should have been the end of it." And he says, "But I forgot. It's 1938. There's a new player in town, and he's faster than a speeding bullet."
That was cool.
Not bad. Let's see if he's faster than 2. And he points the gun at it. Or no, he's about to shoot him, and his guns are melting.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, nuts!" I thought that line was pretty cool because Spider-Man Noir is one of my favorite versions of Spider-Man.
I know.
And I love the original stories.
Yeah.
But the new one that they came out with before, because the show's about to come out, so they had to do a re-release.
Of course.
the character was not Spider-Man. Like that wasn't
Right.
Spider-Man Noir. And this version of him was Spider-Man Noir. So it wasn't exactly like, it wasn't as dark,
Right.
but it was close enough for me to be like, okay, they didn't mess that up,
Yeah.
because I was really worried
Kudos
about that.
to Dan Slott.
Yeah, thank you, Dan Slott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's actually, oh man, this was, it was better than the DC one.
Yeah.
DC one was good, but this one was just like incredible.
Yeah.
So the next story, unless there's anything else you want to know
I
on
think
that
that
one.
was it for that one for me. Yep.
The next story we get is titled Mysterio versus Superman, featuring The Thing and more.
Wait, was it that one or was it the?
That's the next story.
Oh, I thought it was.
Which story did you think was
I
next?
think it's. Wait, is it that one or
Yes.
is it? Wait, hang on. Am I wrong? Oh no, it's Gwen Stacy and Lana Lang.
That
isn't it?
I
Yeah.
am wrong.
Yep.
I just got so excited, I guess. I just
You're
really
like,
wanted to talk about that. So we get Lana Lang and Gwen Stacy, and they're both at Empire State University.
Yep.
It seems like they just got out of class. They're kind of talking. They introduce themselves. You really like this story, so I've been talking for a while. You take it over.
I really like this one for a multitude of reasons. I know during the first podcast I saw this cover, and I was using the cover of this story, the variant cover that they had, which my local comic store didn't have it. I'm really sad they didn't.
Yeah.
Because it's them talking on a rooftop, and Spider-Man and Superman are swinging by.
Yeah.
And I remember we made up a little story of like, I wish they'd have done this with MJ and Lois Lane
Yeah.
and had them like having this cute conversation while they're fighting crime in the background.
Right.
And it would just been a really cool thing. So for some reason, every time I see the story, and my brain is now thinking about like, oh, I really like that story. I really want to do it. And it was really cool because they're both girl bonding,
Right.
and having this girl moment of like, oh, like, yeah, like, men suck, and, men aren't that great sometimes, but like, there's this guy, and Clark Kent, he's so amazing. Oh, well, Peter Parker, he's wonderful. And they're talking about how, like, yeah, they kind of suck at things, and yeah, they, like, some of their excuses for being late is like worse than worse than my dog ate my homework.
Right.
But like, and then it shows panels of Superman fighting Sandman, and then
Yep.
it shows Spider-Man fighting,
I think that's Kryptonite Man.
Kryptonite Man. I was like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
By Humberto Ramos, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, and really awesome panels. But it's this really cool thing of them being like, okay, well, like, these guys are really cool, and like, yeah they seem kind of sucky, but at the end of the day, like, they're good people.
They're good people.
And like, because they're always late and stuff, and then they show up literally, like, they both say, Gwen Stacy and Lana both say simultaneously, I think I'm going to marry that guy. And then literally they show up and they're like, yeah, we had this awful thing, and like, this awful, like, I have it in front of me. Can you believe they sand the streets in the summer here? So weird. Big city, I guess. And then Peter's like, had a run-in with a rabid fire hydrant in the water tower and fell in the river, and then both the girls just laugh together.
Yeah.
Like, it's a really cute moment.
Right.
It's a really cute girlfriend public
Right.
outing moment.
Right.
It was one of my favorite stories. I really enjoyed that story.
I think it's a very sweet story, especially because they both say, I think I'm going to marry that guy.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, neither one of them do.
Yeah.
They are not the primary love interest.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, because
Gwen will
dies,
die,
and
and
then-
Lana, and then Clark moves on from Lana, because
Yeah.
Lana stays in Smallville. That's the only thing I guess I could critique about that, is why is Lana in New York when her big thing is like she doesn't want to leave Smallville. Eventually she does, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, then the story
Then we
is
get to-
Mysterio versus Superman, featuring The Thing and more.
Which, as I said before, it should have been the Thing featuring Mysterio versus Superman.
Right. This is written by Jeff Johns and Gary Frank. And so I told you that I really liked this story. And that,
Yeah.
I admit, could possibly be because I really like Jeff Johns
Yeah.
and Gary Frank.
Yeah.
They did Doomsday Clock. They did like Superman Secret Origin. So they did several stuff like that.
Yeah.
That we really enjoyed.
I'm really worried because the guy that mows my lawn is mowing my lawn right now, and I'm like, I hope it don't come through.
You can kind of hear it.
If it comes through, I'm really sorry,
Yes.
everybody.
We will continue.
Yeah. On with the books. On with the pull list. Yeah.
So anyways, this story is basically that all these heroes are fighting.
Yeah.
The Legion of Superheroes is here, and the Teen Titans are here, and everybody's fighting everybody.
Yeah.
And why is this happening? Well, the Thing is the one narrating this story.
Right.
And he is explaining that Mysterio got a hold of a Red Lantern ring.
Yes.
Which Red Lantern is powered by anger.
Yeah.
And so everybody is kind of just fighting each other.
Yeah.
He used the Hulk as like an amplifier because, of course, the Hulk is powered by rage. So
Exactly.
everybody's fighting everybody.
Yeah.
And there's just a few people, a few heroes that are not affected by this.
Yeah.
This is Superman, Stargirl, which I thought this was very sweet because I don't know if you know this, but Jeff Johns, his sister Courtney, passed away, and he created, and shortly after he joined DC Comics, and he made Stargirl based on his sister. So the fact that she's here in this issue saying that she's not affected by rage, I think, again, was a very sweet kind of touching moment to his sister. Captain America, Hal Jordan, and Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, The Thing, and She-Hulk. And I really like that the Thing is explaining that the reason these people aren't affected by the Red Lanterns is because they just don't have that in them. They're just not wired to really be an angry person. They don't really have this stored up in them.
Right.
But some of them, just because they believe so much that, you know, that in the cause, basically. And then people like She-Hulk, Jennifer Walters, and Hal Jordan have experience with rage that they have overcome.
Yeah.
And that's why they're not affected by the Red Lantern. So anyways, they devise a plan. They're going to go after the Hulk.
Yeah.
And they take the Hulk down, but it's taken all of them.
Yeah.
Well, who's the person who takes down the Hulk? It's Superman. And this is Gary Frank's art does an incredible job of showing, I think, emotion. And he does this, and he has, while they're all restraining the Hulk, everybody's doing it to try to hold. Superman grabs the Hulk's face and is trying to talk to him. We don't see what he says, but it's simply just that it's the first time I thought he's ever seen the Hulk listen, and maybe the first time he's ever seen the Hulk cry.
Yeah, because
And Superman calms down the Hulk to Bruce Banner. They clean up the remaining guys who's still angry. And Superman has this really sweet moment with the Thing. And the Thing's like, why would you do that, basically? You know, the Banner is angry all the time. We were fighting each other. Why was your plan basically just to talk to him?
Yeah.
And Superman says, well, Mysterio used the Red Lantern ring to convince us that we have nothing in common, that we are better if we're going at each other. But reality, if we just keep fighting, and we never talk things out, then the fighting is pointless.
Yeah.
There's no reason. Even an enemy can be a friend.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, that's a sweet,
that's a
sweet moment.
Very sweet moment.
So then the Thing gets a box of donuts. And he goes and he finds Bruce Banner, and Bruce Banner's like, why are you coming to me? Like, are you here to yell at me or make me feel any more guilty? And he said, I just thought you could use a friend.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's so sweet, man.
Yeah. He's like, I just want to talk. Yeah,
right.
Which is which we've never seen that before.
No.
We've seen the Hulk and the Thing fight.
Right.
And I think we've seen that twice.
We've seen that more than twice. We've seen
really?
that a bunch, yeah.
Okay.
But it's beautiful that it shows that Superman is the only person that can make the Thing and the Hulk not fight.
Yeah.
That they just make them talk.
I want to know what he said.
Yeah.
The fact that he, holds him and he's like, he says this because, Hulk's fighting there for a little bit of it. And then he slowly slows down. And I really want to know what he says. So.
Yeah, but I think it's one of those things that's kind of better left unsaid.
Yeah.
That if he had included what he said, it would have kind of taken away from the moment.
Yeah, it's so meaningful. It's because all we're gonna do is think about what he said.
Right.
Oh,
well, that didn't actually move me.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't move. Yeah, but it's like we all picture what does move us.
Right.
Yeah, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
So that was the third story.
Yes. Then we get into a story called Ghosting.
Ghosting. Yep.
And now,
great one.
Now this is with Hobgoblin and Steel, featuring Thor.
Yep.
Because Thor's the one that saves the day.
Yeah, he's Spider-Man. He's from Spider-Man.
Now I'll admit that the art is good.
The art is good. Who draws this?
Todd Nook.
Okay.
I believe.
Oh, Todd. Yeah.
And he follows us on Instagram.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Todd, if you're listening, you did an incredible job. So thank you.
The art is very nice. Very nice.
Well, anyways, we see basically that Hobgoblin has stolen some nanites from Steelworks, which is the company in Metropolis, and he's going to use this for nefarious purposes.
Yes.
What nefarious purpose we don't know, but he's just
yeah. You're not gonna get me.
Yeah. Well, he gets hit in the chest with a giant hammer.
Yep.
So Steel carries a big hammer, so you think, oh, Steel stopped him.
Yeah.
Well, then you turn the page.
And you see that it's Thor.
Thor.
Thor, yep.
Thor stopped him. They shake hands. They're like, I like your hammer. I like your hammer. Cool.
Yeah. Oh, your hammer's so nice. Oh, yes, thank you. It's got the leather. It's good leather on the bottom of your hammer. Your hammer extends. Yeah. It's just like two bros doing bro things.
Right. That's pretty much that story.
And that's it. That's literally the story.
Yeah.
Yep. Just move on. Next
Right.
one. Yep.
So moving on to the next one.
Yep. Which this story is called Remarkable, which is with Spider-Gwen and Superwoman. Or Supergirl, sorry.
Supergirl.
And Spider-Gwen is standing on top of the Daily Planet with a little autograph journal that she's holding on to, and she's really excited to meet the son of Krypton, Superman, and she's going to get him to sign his autograph. And then Supergirl shows up, and she's like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
And then Supergirl's like, "You're not Spider-Man," and she's like, Spider-Man? Like, I'm Ghost Spider. And then it's really funny because they something goes on, like they hear a scream, so they go to help, and Supergirl says, just stay here, spooky spider. She flies away, and she's like, it's Ghost Spider, but okay.
Yeah.
And they go and they fight
Livewire.
Which it's a very quick fight because Supergirl's like, oh, I'm gonna stop you, and then Gwen webs her up and then kicks her from behind.
Right.
She falls down, and then that's it. And the girls both have this little
stare off
where they're like, I didn't need you. Well, I didn't need you either.
Right.
And Supergirl's like, you know what? Whatever. I gotta go save the world. Bye. And she flies away. And Spider-Gwen picks up her autograph book. She opens it, and Supergirl autographed the inside of it.
She did, and it's pretty funny what she wrote.
To one of the 5 million spider-powered heroes. Love Supergirl. It was a cute little story.
Yeah,
it was a very cute little this is a good small issue.
Yeah.
That's a good that doesn't need a lot, right?
Right.
And I think out of all of these issues that are really short, because again, this book has that same problem of the stories are too short and there's too many. This one is a good one of this would be good to have in the back of the issue.
Yes.
That's just a cute little, So I really like this story.
Yes.
Which, next we move on to The One Thing by Brian Michael Bendis with Superman and Spider-Man, but not Peter Parker, Miles Morales.
Yes. This one was also, I think, a sweet story. This is Miles Morales is kind of swinging around. Oh, the city doesn't need me. Mm-hmm. Why am I even doing this? And then there's in the background, and he's like, oh, well, I guess I better go check that out.
Yeah.
And it's Superman, and he's got, something on him. I don't really, I guess, know. It's not kryptonite necessarily. It doesn't really look like it. And so, anyways, he Spider-Man gets that off and he throws it and it blows up.
Yeah.
And Superman's like, I'm still kind of weak from it. It doesn't look like kryptonite. It just looks like cosmic goo almost.
Yeah.
But I'm
it's
assuming
weird,
it's kryptonite.
But it's like a magic because he says it's like
Yeah,
you're getting there.
so they kind of introduce themselves, and they're like, "Oh, I don't like magic. Oh, I don't like it either." And he explains that Brainiac has teamed up with Dormammu, and they're working together and they're fighting. And so Spider-Man says, "Do you have just a moment before we go fight them? I just have something I want to ask you real quick." And Superman's like, "Yeah, go for it. I don't know if we really have the time for this, but sure, go ahead and tell me." And Spider-Man's like. Or Miles is like, I just have one question. When you were my age, what advice do you have for me? And so he's like, well, what do you mean? And Miles is kind of like, well, with great power comes great responsibility, and that's that's a lesson that I already have, but something else.
Yeah.
And Superman says, well, and he gives a nice little speech, and I will say, I don't like Brian Michael Bendis' run on Superman, just a personal thing, but. Yeah. I think he does a really well-written Superman here.
Yeah, this was.
And Superman pretty much says that my one piece of advice is for you is what you're basically already doing. Just show up.
Yeah.
Just continue to put in the work. You don't have to worry about doing all the right things or going to all the right places, but just to show up.
Yeah.
And that is the right choice, is just to show up and to make an effort.
Yeah.
And you're already doing that, so good job.
Yeah.
And Miles is like, wow.
Yeah.
Now you tell me.
yeah. Thanks. Now, yeah. And then Dormammu and Brainiac are joining forces and are coming to the planet with some weird demonic. Well, it's like the demonic face behind the Brainiac ship coming in, and they talk over what they have that conversation, and then they swing up there to take them out.
Yep.
So,
and that's the end of that one.
That's the end of that story. Again, we stopped right at the fighting.
Right.
Which is kind of it. After, like, at this point, I was like, this is getting kind of annoying that it stops right at the fighting.
Right, yeah.
So it's just like conversation issue. Okay, we're going to fight, and then it's over.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's yeah.
So then we move on to a story that is called The Wondrous and the Worthy, or Symbiotes in Metropolis.
Yes.
I see it's had both titles. It's kind of weird.
It's weird. It has, yeah, because it's got there's a page after the mainline story that has the list of all the stories that are coming up.
Right.
And they're not called that,
No.
what they're actually titled, but then you go, because I had read that, and I was like, there's no other symbiote story in here, and I didn't realize that this was actually a symbiote story.
Right.
Because, of course, me being a Venom fan,
Yeah.
I'll be like, where is it? Where is it?
I need to know.
I was doing that on the phone. I was like, where is it? Where's the story? It's like, it says symbiotes. I don't see it. And then I was like,
So I guess the only symbiotes here is that there are symbiotes on the parademons of Apocalypse.
Yes, because Darkseid has the Necro Sword, and this isn't the Null Necro Sword. It is, but it's the version that Gore had. So it's kind of like the blade that's kind of a part of his hand.
Right.
So I guess he's using that, giving it, because that has been retconned to be a symbiote now.
Right.
He's using that to give all of the parademons symbiotes, and now Darkseid has a symbiote arm.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're calling back to Jason Aaron's kind of last Thor story, War of the Realms. Mm-hmm. And in the War of the Realms is and really we sum up that story here in the first page. We kind of wrap up everything that had happened. And just a refresher is Jane Foster is Thor here.
Yeah. And
she kind of throws Mjolnir, and she's getting tackled by these parademon Venoms, and she can't Venom. And she can't get the Mjolnir back, but Golden Lasso wraps it up and pulls it towards her, and basically like Wonder Woman she pulls Jane Foster Thor towards her.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, hey, you're Thor, and you're not the Thor that I know."
Yeah.
Oh, but you're Wonder Woman. Say something cool. Hi, you know.
Yeah.
So they were talking, and then even Jane Foster hands Wonder Woman the Mjolnir and says, "You're more worthy than I am.
Yeah.
Like, here, this belongs to you." And she says, "No, you deserve it."
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Darkseid shows up, and then it's like, for centuries, people told the tales of what happened there in Metropolis with all the symbiotes, and how all the heroes joined together, joined forces.
They joined forces to fight, and then that's the end. Yeah. We get another, like, here we go, big fight, and then it
then nothing happens. But one thing I do like about this story, especially the last final moment, do you see Batman wielding a giant sword?
I do now.
That is,
I just noticed that Batman was there. I didn't notice that before. But
everybody else is like their normal selves, and then there's just Batman with a giant sword.
Yeah, he's like, I had to quit fighting Ra's al Ghul, and I just had to grab what I had. He took my utility belt, so I just needed a sword. A sword will do. Well, Darkseid has a sword, so he's got the Necro, whatever. I don't care, but it's his sword, so I'm gonna fight him.
Batman's gonna humble Darkseid.
Dude, honestly, I think Batman will win. Anytime someone's like, who wins, this person or Batman? I'm like, Batman. Maybe that varies, but most of the time I'm like...
But there has
Batman.
been moments in comics where Batman has actually defeated Darkseid like twice.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. I wouldn't doubt that. Like, literally, like, the thought of, like, who wins, Batman or Darkseid? I'm like, probably Batman.
This is jumping ahead to our Invincible review later, but I saw somebody the other day had posted that said... everybody's so focused on the Superman versus Thrag fight, who would win, but nobody's talking about the Batman versus Thrag fight. Batman would win.
Batman would just grapple hook and just kick him. Yeah. And Thrag's like, ugh. So Invincible, go through the multiverse and go, dude, he did.
Yeah,
actually,
comics,
he went through in the show. He did too.
Yeah.
He's like, so your name is you dress like a bat, and your name is just Batman?
Yeah, yeah.
And then he should have just freaking been like, I need you.
Can I borrow you real quick?
Can I borrow you? Like, this guy, his name's Thrag. Thrag just kills him. I'd be like, we are so screwed. Like there's no hope.
Earth
like,
just lost her best defender.
Yeah, Batman is gone. Like it's over. Absolute Batman comes through the portal and it's like, never mind, we're good. That would be so funny.
Thrag sees Absolute Batman's like, oh, hold up, I'm sorry,
like,
I didn't want to even be here in the first place.
He's like, you don't have conquest. Conquest ain't nothing to me. Batman has the glove, Conquest glove on. His freaking arm would fit in it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Oh my gosh, man, I didn't even think about that. That's so good. Okay, so then we wrap up this issue.
Yep, the final story. One of those days.
Yep. You want to go? You want to talk about it?
All you.
Okay.
Finish her off, Clayton.
I'll finish this off. So we see Spider-Man sitting on the bridge where Gwen Stacy died. That's not specifically stated, but we can just assume so.
Yeah.
And, I even really like the art with Jim Chung, who did the art. It makes the Spider-Man look like he did in the Steve Ditko days, with like the smaller eyes, the webbing on the sides. Mm-hmm. I think that's a really cool style. Well, anyways,
I like that.
Superman's flying by and he sees Spider-Man, so he comes down and he's like, "Hey, what's going on? I see you sitting here on the edge. Like, what's going on?" And Spider-Man's like, I lost a loved one, man. It's just really hard. And I loved her a lot, and it's just really hard. And she died because of me.
Yeah.
Like, how do you deal with that? And Superman gives him a little motivational speech, and he's like, it is hard.
Yeah.
Every day, and we're not going to dismiss that. But every day, you're going to get up, and you're going to keep trying, and you don't need a gold medal for who's the best griever or anything like that. He says that there's only two things certain in life, and that is that you will be born and that you will die. But what matters is what you do in between.
Right.
And so you'll have good days and you'll have bad days, but we want to strive for the good days. And he's like, better is good. We like better. And so Spider-Man says, yeah, we do. And so then it ends, and gosh, I wish this story was longer.
That is the biggest problem with this, is that when I was flipping through this and I saw that it's 2 pages, or it's not, it's the front and back of one page. Like it's not.
It deserves to be more.
Like it definitely deserves to be more, and it's like, my thought on it is that it's been 50 years since we had a Spider-Man Superman crossover. Like, it might be 50 more years until we get another one. We both could be dead by the time they do it again. If it does take 50 years.
Well, if that's the case, if it does take another 50 years, they'll both be out of public domain by that time, so anybody could write it.
I guess you're right, yeah.
Because Superman will be out of public domain in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
And then Spider-Man will be out of public domain in 2060.
That's insane.
So
then I can make a movie and no one can stop me. I
guess
I could.
I'm an 80-year-old man, but I'm going to make
the Spider-Man movie. I guess I still could. I just can't make money off of it.
Right. Well, you couldn't. You'd have to do Spider-Man as he originally was in Amazing Fantasy 15.
Yeah, I couldn't do modern Spider-Man.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, the problem with this last story is it's so short, and it's like, this is what we should have. Hope, like, because one of Spider-Man's greatest, like, Spider-Man's kryptonite is his own like torture, the torture that he gives to himself.
Right.
He doesn't give himself a break when these bad things have happened.
Right.
And Superman should be there being like, hey, like, which we got, but this story I didn't want it to rank as low as it did on my list. It ranks so low because of the fact that it's nothing. There's not enough to feel, to let the weight disappear.
Sure.
There's not enough there. There's not enough cheese on this hamburger.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I need more cheese, and it's like it's a one and done, and it's like, okay, you got that story, bye.
Right.
And it's just like,
yeah, I agree. So why don't we go ahead and rank them?
Yes. So we're gonna rank the issue by itself, and then we're gonna do a big rank of all of the DC Superman, Spider-Man from both sides.
Right.
So
I'll go first, and I will rank this story.
Okay.
So number 1 for me from the Marvel crossover is Our Kryptonite, which is the main story that with Venomized Superman.
Yep.
That's number 1.
Yep.
And then number 2, I'm going to put in as the Mysterio versus Superman featuring the Thing, or as it's also called in the book, Identity War.
Oh wow! Okay.
That's my second favorite.
Okay.
From there, I actually am going to put One of Those Days up there as number It's number three
number
for me.
Three. Wow.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
I know it's short, know it's brief. I just really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's okay.
It was sentimental. Number 4 is The One Thing with Miles Morales and Superman. I really did not expect to like that story as much as I did, but that's number 4 for me. Number 5 is The Metropolis Marvels, which is the Spider-Man Noir and Golden Age Superman.
Okay.
Then number 6 is the Lana Lang and Gwen Stacy story.
Okay.
Number 7 is Remarkable, which is Ghost Spider and Supergirl.
Okay.
Number 8 is Symbiotes in Metropolis. And my least favorite is Ghosting, which is the Hobgoblin and Steel story.
Yeah.
And we talked about this before we were recording. Basically, I would say anything after the Lana Lang and Gwen Stacy story is about all really tied in reality. They're all about that tier.
Yeah.
But we were ranking them for the sake of the podcast, so I just went ahead and ranked them.
Yeah.
So
now, my ranking, I'm going to give my rank as well. So our Kryptonite, which is our Venomized Superman story, is number 1 for me. It is my favorite story out of the whole book, and it is the one that I would have cut half of these stories and just been like, more of this story.
Yeah.
Stretch that story out, make more of it.
Right.
So that's number 1 for me. Number 2 is Spider-Man Noir and Superman. That was a really good story. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did. I really enjoyed it. Number 3 is the Lana Lane Gwen Stacy story, which is called Sweethearts. That was my 3rd pick. Number 4, Ghost Spider and Supergirl.
Okay.
Number 5, Miles Morales and Superman. Number 6, Mysterio versus Superman featuring The Thing. Number 7, Spider-Man Superman One of Those Days. Number 8, Symbiotes in Metropolis. And number 9, Hobgoblin versus Steel.
So our only ones we have in common is the number 1, and 8 and 9.
8 and 9, yep. So we got a little bit of a...
We have a disagreement there.
So do you want to go through why you ranked your things that way real quick?
Sure. I kind of base stories on with what we want with Superman. I based my ranking on when I read these characters, what do I want from them, and was I given that in this story?
Right.
So what do you want with the Superman story? You want a story that is hopeful. You want a story that, yes, it shows off his power, but it also shows his greatest superpower, which is his heart.
Yeah.
And so that's where I try to rank these stories. The other one with Spider-Man, what do you want from a Spider-Man story? You want Spider-Man to be relatable. You want Spider-Man to really kind of hit at the heartstrings a little bit more. And again, you also kind of want to see Spider-Man do cool things. Yeah. So I think one that hit all of those was our Kryptonite, which is the Venomized Superman story. I think it hit every single point you're looking for.
Yeah.
I put Identity War next, even though it's not so much of a Spider-Man story. We got basically a Fantastic Four story, and I love the Fantastic Four. Was not a fan of the MCU movie, but that's a debate for another time. Yeah, I know we're divided on that, but I love the Fantastic Four, and it was a really sweet Superman moment, and I really loved that. The whole thing was really a love letter to Superman and who he is and his ability, right? So we hit that there. One of those days, you're hitting both of those points. You're hitting Spider-Man being relatable. I think this is a story that you can come back to if you're having a really bad day. Yeah. And you're grieving or you're remembering somebody that you lost or something, right? This is that story where you can read and you get both. You get Spider-Man being relatable and you get Superman being hopeful. And even though it's short, it can still be one of those things on a bad day. If you would read that story, you're like, all right, Superman, you're right. I pick it up, keep going. Yeah. And so then you have like the Metropolis Marvels, which is the Spider-Man Noir and Golden Age Superman. That one, it felt fun. That one was just fun. Yeah. And all of these stories I think are fun, but this one had very sentimental moments. And I said to you before we were recording as well that how is it that Marvel can write a better Superman than DC does? Yeah. Because all of these Superman moments in this book have been so sweet and like heartfelt. Yeah. And that's incredible. And so all the other stories that I would say rank at the same point, which is the Lana Lang, Gwen Stacy. This is this Ghost Spider and Supergirl. This is the Symbiotes in Metropolis. This is Hobgoblin and Steel. I put them all kind of in the same tier because either they missed the mark with one character, they're too short, or just a variety of reasons. So they all kind of rank. I'm just not interested in these characters, like Steel and Hobgoblin.
Yeah.
This is the problem that we had with the DC one. I don't care about these characters.
Yeah.
I've never said, man, I wish Steel and Hobgoblin would team up together.
I want them. Yep.
No. So they're all kind of rank in the same tier. Just either I'm just not invested. Supergirl's cool. I've never really been invested in Supergirl. Ghost Spider's cool, but is she cool because like of her concept, or is she cool because I really like the Into the Spider-Verse films, you know?
Yeah.
And so things like that. And that's why I kind of put them together. Even the Miles Morales and Superman, it hits both of those points.
Yeah.
Relatable and a big heart.
Right.
And so what about you? Why did you rank yours the way you did?
So obviously, number one, our kryptonite. Venomized Superman was the big seller for me. I mean, it could have been sucky, and I'd be like, well, it's got Venomized Superman.
Right,
so
right.
I like it. So that one was okay. That was my favorite. So that's definitely number one for me. Number two, Spider-Man Noir and Superman. It felt really good to get in an old timey story with these two old timey characters.
Yeah.
You know, the art was very good. The art matched the time style.
Right.
And it was just a really good story. I liked the way it was the way it was edited and laid out.
Right.
So
right.
it flowed really good. I would have loved to see more of Spider-Man Noir and Superman actually doing things, but you know, we got it quickly and that was it. And that was the most like action, I think, besides the first story.
I think so.
That we've gotten out of almost all of these. So that was one of the other reasons why I put it up in the second place. The third place, where is the third place? Am I stupid? Oh yeah, wait, it's right here. Oh yeah, Lana versus Gwen.
Yeah, my favorite story. Yeah. Actually, that
dude, the fight. Oh my gosh, yeah.
She beat her until she broke her neck.
She hit her with a brick. Like she hit her with her purse in the bathroom. It's just like Ultimate Spider-Man, my favorite book ever. I really liked this story. The reason I put it on my third was because it literally did what I wanted it to do.
Right.
You know, again, us talking about that story when we were the last episode and coming up with that story with that cover really made me like super obsessed with that. And I was like, this book is exactly what I wanted it to be.
Right.
And, you know, getting to see them both just like, you know, gush over these guys that they're like, oh, they're nerds, but they're still cute and they're really good people, but they're, you know, but then you see them being heroic and all this stuff. It was a cool perspective at what's happening in this book from the outside. Yeah. And so I was like, yeah, this is my third. This has to be my third. And plus, Humberto Ramos, love his art.
Incredible art.
Great. I've actually met him. He's a good artist. He's really awesome. So that was my third. My fourth was Ghost Spider and Supergirl. So I thought that was a cute story. It was a very that was a compact story, as compact as it could have been, and that was if there should have been a short story, that's what it should have been. Right. But all these trying to be big action stories and just being like, let's have the conversation before the fight, the pep up talk. It's like every issue's doing that, and so that's why it's kind of, I liked it because it was short and sweet. My fifth was the Miles Morales and Superman because I didn't actually it crossed my mind whenever I saw the variant covers for this book. One of them was Superman and Miles Morales, and I was like, you know, when you think Spider-Man and Superman, you don't think Miles Morales. Right. So it was a surprise. It was kind of like one of my favorite surprises from Donny Cates' Venom run was when Venom is about to fight Grendel because he's in the city and they're like, Spider-Man's coming to the scene. And you're thinking, oh, it's going to be Spider-Man. And then it's Miles about to drop kick him from behind. It's that flip. Like you're like, oh, it's this guy. You know, it's not, you know.
Well, I think Brian Michael Bendis did it because he wrote both of them.
He did.
He created Miles and he wrote Superman. Yeah.
So I'm really glad they did that. But man, I would have just really liked to have them fight because I'd love to see Superman react to his Venom blast.
Oh, that would be cool.
You know, he's like, oh, the other Spider-Man doesn't do that. And he's like, yeah, I got, you know, he's like, I can also do this. And he goes invisible. Yeah. He's like, what the, you know.
If they would have had the stereotypical, like, hero versus hero fight and, like, Miles would have, like, done the Venom bite to him, it would have shocked. That could have been a good callback to the iconic cover where Superman's standing there and the lightning is, like, hitting his chest and he's like, it tickles.
Yeah. That would have been really cool. He's like, huh, it tickles. Yeah. That would have been so cool. So that was my fifth. Okay. My sixth favorite was the Mysterio versus Superman, The Thing and More. Okay. And the reason I liked the storytelling of that one, I liked the loving and the hope and the, you know. Right. But Spider-Man is in it for one panel.
Yeah.
And that was a big, like, okay, that was my first, because that was like, what, the fourth story?
Yeah.
And that was the first big, like, okay, here we go. We have a Superman Spider-Man book, and Spider-Man is not in this story.
Right.
We're telling a story with other characters. Like, at that point, just have a Superman meets the Marvel Universe book.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, because that was the big, because again, it was like, yeah, it's a cute story, but that's not what I bought this for.
Right.
You know, I bought this because I wanted Superman and Spider-Man.
Right.
Or, you know, Lana and Gwen, or MJ and Lois. Like, I like those because they directly relate to the characters.
Right.
But the Fantastic Four, and, like, it sort of relates to Spider-Man, but not to the,
Right.
you know, not to the level that, you know, I don't know. I
see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's the only reason I ranked it low. My 7th was Spider-Man, Superman, One of Those Days. Now, I ranked this so low, which, you know, part of me kind of wants to rank it a little bit higher than The Thing, but I like the kind of the love in that one a little bit more. There's just not enough in it. There wasn't enough in that story for me, you know, and I really wanted to like it so much because that is one of my favorite moments, is seeing Spider-Man deal with the death of Gwen. Right? I love Spider-Man Blue. That's one of my favorite Spider-Man books.
Who wrote the story, Jeff Loeb.
Yeah, and it's just like, but we should have gotten so much. Why didn't we get an art style like that?
Right.
Like, if he's writing the book, he should have got a.
Well, Tim Sale passed away, and Tim Sale did Spider-Man Blue.
See, I'm stupid.
No.
But yeah, like, I don't know. Like, we should have gotten more to that. Like, there should have been more mental conflict in that, and there wasn't. It was just Superman comes down, and he's like, "Hey, man, like, I know things suck, and you can be hopeful, and things will be fine." And then he leaves, and it's like, that's not enough, you know?
That's fair. I mean, that, you know, it's the same critique that I have, but I still think
it is a good story.
It's a good story.
I don't hate the story. But one that I do hate is my number 8th pick, Symbiotes in Metropolis.
Yeah.
I was really disappointed in that one. Like, sure, it's Jane Foster, Thor, and Wonder Woman, but again,
That's not
Superman Spider-Man. And it's like, you know, I don't even think Jane Foster Thor relates to Spider-Man at all. I don't think they've ever even really crossed paths. So, like, I don't know. It's just it like, and I was hoping, like, well, you've got symbiotes, that's cool, but it's just they're there.
Right.
There's nothing with it, and it's just like, what, this story was literally a waste of my time, it felt like.
Right.
Like, and I get it, it's you know, like, them talking, but again, I just don't care.
But that should have been like a Wonder Woman Thor story, not
exactly. That should have been Wonder Woman, Thor, or whoever else. Again, they need to do a book called DC Meets Marvel, and these be the stories in that.
And it needs to be like a series, not just
not just like a one-off. Exactly. Right. And my final story was Hobgoblin versus Steel, because that story just was irrelevant to me. Yeah. You know, and again, nothing against the writers, nothing against the artists, but it just, that story was just that's not a story I was wanting. Like, that's not something I was, you know, that was kind of similar to the Carnage and Jimmy Olsen story. Like, I was just like, that's not, what do we need that for, you know?
Sure. So, with that said, bringing up Jimmy Olsen and Carnage, let's remind our audience of the stories that we had in the DC Marvel crossover. So, leading that book was Truth, Justice, and a Great Responsibility. That was the main story for that one. Mm-hmm. Then we have World's Finest, which was Lois Lane and Mary Jane.
And Gambit.
Yes, and Gambit. Try to forget that guy. We have Pages, which is Superboy Prime and Spider-Man. Yep. We have Beyond the Cobwebs of Tomorrow, which is basically Batman Beyond and Spider-Man 2099. Yep. We have the Jimmy Olsen and Carnage. Yep. We have the Bridge. It's called The Bridge, but it's the Pa Kent and Uncle Ben. Mm-hmm. We have, it's called Biased, but it was Lois Lane versus J. Jonah Jameson. Mm-hmm. And finally, we have Blind Date with Power Girl and Punisher. Yep. So, how do you want to do this? Do you want to talk about, just do our personal rankings of them all?
Yes.
Okay.
I think, I guess that's the only way to start. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to stick with my same criteria. Mm-hmm. And this is how I ranked it. Like, we want Superman to have hope, inspiration, to show heart, but also show power. Mm-hmm. And we want Spider-Man to show also relatability and power as well. Yeah. So here's my ranking of all Spider-Man, Superman stories from both crossovers. Yep. Our Kryptonite, the Venomized Superman, is number 1 of all stories. Then we have, you're going to be shocked by this one, the Mysterio versus Superman featuring The Thing is my number 2.
Okay.
Number 3, The Bridge, which is the Pa Kent Uncle Ben story.
You like that one a lot.
I really like that one. I think it just hits different in this time of life as I'm about to be a dad. So I think it just hits different for that reason. Number 4 is Truth, Justice, and Great Responsibility.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
And number 5 is One of Those Days.
Okay. That's fine. That's okay. Right. Yeah.
Number 6 is The One Thing. The Brian Michael Bendis Superman Miles Morales. Mm-hmm. Then I have The World's Finest, number 6.
Okay.
Which is Lois Lane and Mary Jane. Okay. And Gambit.
And Gambit. Yep. Yep.
Number 7 is The Metropolis Marvels, which is Spider-Man Noir and
wow. Okay. Yep. Okay.
Next is Sweethearts, which is Lana Lang and Gwen Stacy. I actually have Remarkable, the Ghost Spider and Supergirl story.
Okay.
Then I have Blind Date.
Okay.
Which is Power Girl and Punisher.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one.
Then I have Beyond the Cobwebs. And I'll go ahead and preface this. Pretty much from this point on are stories that I think they're okay, but they are my absolute least favorites. Yeah. And I could have gone without them.
Yeah.
We have Beyond the Cobwebs, which is Batman Beyond and Spider-Man 2099.
Yep.
You know my reason why, and if you listen to it, it did not feel like a Superman story. It was just Batman Beyond and Spider-Man 2099.
Yeah, exactly.
Then we have Symbiotes in Metropolis. Mm-hmm. Then we have Pages, which is the Superboy Prime and Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Then we have Bias, the Lois Lane versus J. Jonah Jameson.
Okay.
The Hobgoblin and Steel story. Yep. And then my least favorite of all the crossovers is Jimmy Olsen and Carnage.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So let's hear yours.
So mine is Our Kryptonite is number 1. Number 2 is Spider-Man Noir and Superman.
Okay.
Number 3 for me overall was Truth, Justice, and Great Responsibility.
Okay.
I thought that was the third best.
Yeah.
Number 4 was where is it? I'm trying to find it. Beyond the Cobwebs of Tomorrow.
I figured you really liked that one.
I did really like that one because I was excited to see 2099 and Batman Beyond work together. Number 5 was Lana and Gwen, Sweethearts. Number 6 was Ghost Spider and Supergirl.
Okay.
Number 7 was Miles Morales and Superman.
Okay.
Number 8 was... Where's number 8? Oh, yeah. Blind Date, Power Girl and Punisher.
You also really like that one.
I did really like that one. Because it had Paul in it, and I could have ate today if he came back.
Nah, he dead.
Yeah, he's dead. He's dead forever. He dead as hell, bro. Number 9 is Mysterio v Superman featuring The Thing. Number 10 is Spider-Man Superman One of Those Days.
Okay. Number
11 is World's Finest, Lois and MJ. So we actually flipped those. Yours is number 12 is Pages, Superman, Superboy Prime, and Spider-Man. 13 is The Bridge, Pa Kent and Uncle Ben. Mm-hmm. 14, Bias, Lois Lane and J. Jonah Jameson. 15 is... Where's 15? Is that 14? Yeah, 14. 15 is... Where is 15? Am I stupid?
You've got Symbiotes in Metropolis, the Hobgoblin and Steel, or Jimmy Olsen and Carnage for 15.
Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. Jimmy Olsen and Carnage is 15.
Ooh, okay. Bold. Okay.
It went up a little bit. Symbiotes in Metropolis was 16, and Hobgoblin versus Steel was 17.
Okay.
So.
All right. So, you said Jimmy Olsen and Carnage went up a bit. Why?
It went up a bit only because of a few reasons.
Okay.
One, it was yes, the story did not serve a purpose, but it was nice to see a symbiote doing something like it was supposed to. Right. Otherwise, because that's why Symbiotes in Metropolis, I was like, why? Like, this is just like, this isn't what symbiotes. Right. This doesn't feel like Symbiotes in Metropolis. This feels like, he's got the, like, it should have just been called, what's his name?
Darkseid?
Darkseid, yeah, sorry. Yeah. It should have been called Darkseid with the Necro Sword. Yeah, that should have all it was called. And I don't know, I think our discussion about it made me like it a little bit more
Okay.
because I was like, oh, there's a dead guy on the couch, and like it's a really stupid story,
Right.
but it's kind of like comedically stupid
Right,
now.
right.
So it definitely climbed the ladder because Hobgoblin and Steel just, it's the same WTF thing
Right.
with like Hobgoblin and Steel and Jimmy Olsen and Carnage.
Right.
Like those don't click very well. But I think Jimmy Olsen and Carnage rose up a little bit just because I'm like, it's Carnage and he killed Jimmy Olsen. That's kind of funny, I guess.
Okay.
Like so that's literally
Yeah.
it. Now, could that be adjusted? 100? Yeah, for
Right,
sure.
okay.
I was having a hard time listing this. I was having a really hard time.
It is hard, and again, once you reach a certain point, it's like, well, all these stories are basically the same for me. Like I could care less. So that's really hard. Now we want to rank them as one cohesive beyond the pool list.
We do want to do one beyond the pool list ranking. Yep.
But I think our number one is set in stone.
For sure. Yeah.
It's just incredible.
Yeah.
Our number two, that's going to be a little bit harder because my number two was the Thing, Superman and versus Mysterio and featuring the Thing.
Yeah. The Thing featuring Superman versus Mysterio.
But your number two was the Spider-Man Noir.
Mm-hmm.
I'm willing, and I admitted earlier that I am biased towards Jeff Johns and Gary Frank because they did Doomsday Clock.
Right.
They did Superman's Secret Origins, which was an incredible story.
Mm-hmm.
They're just, for me, one of my favorite creative teams ever.
Yeah.
So I admit I am a little biased towards them.
Yeah.
So I would be flexible with saying that for Beyond the Pool list, our number one is our Kryptonite, and number two would be Metropolis Marvels.
Okay. I think that'll be I'm okay with that as well. I just it's not that I don't like the Thing story. It just again, it doesn't have Spider-Man in it. Like it's got one panel, he says one thing and all it is oh, or he says ouch.
Right.
And it's like as he's dodging a pole.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this ain't, I don't know.
So man, that's a callback to a meme that's not been around for a while. All right, so for number three, what are you thinking? Because my number three is One of Those Days, and your number three was Truth, Justice,
and Great Responsibility.
I will admit, Truth, Justice, and Great Responsibility could be a solid number three as well.
But also yours could be too.
Okay.
I don't mind One of Those Days. One of Those Days didn't have a lot of sauce. Because Truth, Justice, and Responsibility was like the main story of the original, and it was like, oh yeah, we're getting that. But I also had some props with it being like,
I lied to you. I'm sorry.
Would you lie?
My number three was actually The Bridge.
Oh,
I'm so sorry. I looked at my notes wrong.
Okay. The Bridge was really good because it's a very emotional.
Pa Kent, Uncle Ben.
Kent and Uncle Ben, and I think I'm willing to bring that one closer to the front because that was a good story.
But not for number three or number three.
No, for number three.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm willing to because it's good. Especially since like number one, our Kryptonite definitely stomped Truth, Justice, and Great Responsibility.
Yes.
So
would you be okay with Truth, Justice, and Great Responsibility number four? Then?
Yes.
Okay.
What was my number four? My number four was
Blind Date. No, Beyond the Cobwebs.
Beyond the Cobwebs. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna. That's where we're really gonna differ on that one.
That's okay.
Because. If the book was titled Batman Superman or Batman Spider-Man, absolutely.
I get it. I get it too.
But Superman was just there to be like, hey, I'm a part of the Legion of Superheroes.
Yeah. He's like, I'm here so we can do this tie-in.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for me being here, this would happen.
Right.
Yeah. What's the alternative? It's Batman, it's Cowboys of Tomorrow, and
I would say the Mysterio versus Superman.
That is tough.
That's where we're different right
But
here.
also, this has Spider-Man in it.
It does.
You know what I mean? So, it doesn't have Superman, but it has Spider-Man. I guess that's the thing, is your story has Superman, but not Spider-Man. My story has Spider-Man, but not Superman.
Right.
That's tough. But what do you like better? Do you like the futuristic Spider-Man and Batman Beyond, or do you like Superman using his
inspiration,
soul of hope to calm the Hulk down and to kind of construct with the Thing?
Well, see, okay, here's why I'm going to argue that I think it needs to be the Mysterio and Superman story. Okay, I'm arguing that because if you step back and you think about the story itself, the story is really about the Thing wrestling with himself.
Yeah.
He basically says, I'm angry at myself all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look back, the story has a heart. It has a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
The Beyond the Cobweb story is just a cool moment that we've wanted forever.
Yeah.
So it's cool moment versus heart.
Mm-hmm.
What is going to weigh your story more?
Yeah.
And I guess that could get a deep conversation about comics. Do you want a story that's like emotional, that's hitting all the right beats, or do you want one that's just packed with cool moments?
Yeah.
You know, and that's where I'm going to argue this point, is that the Thing story is what I'm going to call it, is filled with heart. It's filled with emotional moments. But the Batman Beyond is just, that's a cool moment. I've always wanted to see that. That's cool.
Now, but how do we have the balance of that? Like, we've got a lot of good heartfelt moments, but we don't have a lot of the cool, like, oh, I want to see that. I mean, we did. We got Venomized Superman, which was definitely like I wanted to see that.
Right.
But like, I don't know. This is difficult. This is really hard.
I knew it was going to come down to this. And
we're going to have
because I really think I just, and even Batman Beyond is not in the story for a long period of time.
Right.
He's only there for a brief moment.
Yeah.
Now try to convince me otherwise. I've got my cup of tea right here.
yeah.
Convince me otherwise. Change my mind.
That's rough. That's hard.
Yeah.
That's really hard. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. I would love like people. I would like people, if you're listening and if you made it this far, thank you. Can you comment what you think? Comment what you think is better.
The episode ends right here.
Yeah.
So nobody will ever know.
My favorite is it's just over. It's like tune in next week to Beyond the Pull List, where we figure out what Paul's favorite is.
It's that moment in Toy Story. It was like, there was never another episode.
Yep. That's it. Yep. Show died the next day. Yeah. Clayton had his child, and Paul got addicted to drugs, and they never spoke again. One of those is actually happening, and it's not me being into drugs.
Thank goodness. We get you into rehab.
Yeah. Clayton, the Venom books, they're making me go
They're
crazy.
Horrible.
Final decision. I don't know. I will say this. Where does the Thing story take place in?
What do you mean? I think it takes place in.
Is it in New York or?
I think it's in New York.
Okay, well, that's still in like this. This is the final decision.
Okay.
The Thing story, because the 2099 story takes place in Gotham 2099. It doesn't even take place in a Superman Spider-Man area.
Okay.
So sure, we get Spider-Man, but they're both put in a different location, and at least I don't know, because like that's a third-party location.
Right.
At least in this story, we're getting New York, which is closer to Spider-Man. So we're getting more of both of them in the same spot than we are with that one, where it's like, yeah, they're there, but like, you know.
Right.
I don't know. I'm still a little disagreeing on that, but
okay.
you know what? I'll let you have it. I'll let you have it.
So I'll put Beyond the Cobwebs as number 6 then.
Number 6. Okay.
All right. So we're settled there then. All right. So for number 7, you had.
I have
The One Thing.
The One Thing? Oh, I have Miles Morales and Superman.
Yes. And then
that's what it's called. Yeah, you're right.
I have Remarkable, which is the Supergirl Ghost Spider. I'm easily willing.
Honestly, I'm willing with you too.
Really?
I like the Ghost Spider better, personally.
Okay.
I like Ghost Spider better than...
It was...
Wait a minute. Wait. Did I rank that one before? No, I ranked Ghost Spider at number 6.
Well, I guess we were looking at number 7. So why don't we go ahead and go with Ghost Spider?
I think Ghost Spider.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked it better than the Miles Morales one.
Okay.
And you liked it better as well. So
yes.
No disagreement there.
All right. So I'll go ahead and mark that off.
So next will be Miles Morales and Superman for me.
Okay.
No, wait. Yeah.
So, yes. So I have One of Those Days, but you have that as 10. But we can do the Miles Morales. That's definitely up there.
You like that one better? Let's do that one. Yeah.
The Miles? Yeah. Okay. And then that's here. And then number 9 on our ranking, I have One of Those Days next. What do you got next?
9 for me was The Thing story.
Oh, okay.
So I guess One of Those Days will be next for me. Yep. This is where it's going to start getting easier.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, oh, yeah, you know.
All right, number 10. I got World's Finest.
10 for me was one of those days.
Okay, so...
so now we got to figure out a new one.
Yeah.
So then, well, I guess we'll just move on to the next one.
Okay.
Because we both have those. Number 10. Wait, do we do Lana?
We do not have Lana up there. So the stories that we have not ranked yet is is Lois and MJ, Lana and Gwen, the Power Girl and Punisher, the symbiotes in Metropolis, Pages, Biased, Ghost, Hobgoblin and Steel, and the Jimmy Olsen Carnage.
I think Lana should be next.
Okay.
I like that one.
I'll give
do you
you
agree with that one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Out of the rest of the stories that are left, that one's like my favorite.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is also after we got one or two more that we could put on here, and then everything after that is like I don't really care.
Yeah.
So the question is, do we put number 11 as either Lois and MJ, or do we do it as the Punisher and Power Girl?
Here's my problem with both these stories.
Okay.
Lois or Power Girl and Punisher it is a cute story. It is written well.
Right.
It is a well-written story.
It is.
But it is not connected to Spider-Man Superman.
No, not at all.
The World's Finest with Lois and MJ is more connected to Spider-Man Superman, but I hate the fact that Gambit gets a freaking splash page.
And nobody else does.
And no one else does. Which I guess if you want to look at it story-wise, like I don't know, how do we want to rank it by story? Do we want to rank it by consistency? Because story-wise, Power Girl and Punisher, because the story was more intriguing. It was cute. And I was like, I'm interested in reading more of this story.
Gambit really brings down that story.
He brought it down really hard. Thanks, Jim Lee.
Yeah. Jim Lee,
Jim Lee, come on, man. Why'd you do that?
Why did you... Oh, here's my opportunity.
Are you sure?
Jim Lee, he's here. Oh, my gosh. Clayton, he's going to kill me with the cards. He's got Gambit's staff, and he's going to hit me with it. Bonk. Yeah.
I will say let's do the Punisher and Power Girl next.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay, why?
Because the only thing bringing that down is Paul.
Yeah.
And Paul only shows up briefly.
Yeah.
And it's a cute story. And Gambit just really brings down that story, man.
Yeah. Well, that and also Lois Lane and MJ are like walking through this horrible like it's like they should be trying to get out of there. They should be like chit chatting while they're like, it's not like a funny thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's more fun. Like that's why I like the Lana and Gwen story better, was because they're in a realistic setting having this conversation.
Right.
You know, and they're looking, they're seeing them doing their thing.
Right.
That's the part that makes that realistic. This is not realistic at all.
No.
And I get it. Like a man sticking to walls isn't realistic either. But like, they're not going to casually be talking while they're dangling in a bus on a bridge.
Right.
Being like, oh yeah, I've been here before. Like, you know, and then on top of it, Gambit ruining it.
Right.
Like,
Okay, so I think we're in agreement. Power Girl and Punisher.
Yep.
All right, and then
Next.
So here's where things begin to get much easier, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So all that we have
Which one
left.
do we hate the most?
Yeah, right. So all we have left is Symbiotes in Metropolis, Pages, the Lois versus Jonah, and Hobgoblin, Steel, and Jimmy Olsen Carnage.
So let's see, Pages, which was I think
Superboy.
Pages was good.
Okay, I think it was good too.
I thought Pages was pretty good.
So we'll put that there.
Yeah. And then we have Bias, Jimmy Olsen Carnage, Symbiotes in Metropolis, and Hobgoblin versus Steel.
Yeah.
Those are the 4 we have left. What do you think? Do you think Carnage and Jimmy Olsen, does it not raise up anymore for you?
No. One funny joke in our last episode does not raise it up anymore for me.
Okay. But you like... Okay, and I can see why you like other... Like, I can see why you like Symbiotes in Metropolis, because at least there's some character conversation between... like Wonder Woman and Jane Foster Thor.
But again, it's not related to Superman Spider-Man. Honestly, the next one I would put is Bias, which is the Lois Lane and J. Jonah Jameson, because the art is really good in that one.
And I like the argument.
Yeah.
I like Lois being like, well, you just don't like this.
Right.
And she's like calling him out. Like two news reporters calling them each other out. I agree.
Okay. So... this leaves Hobgoblin, Steel, Jimmy Olsen Carnage, and Symbiotes in Metropolis.
I think Symbiotes in Metropolis is next. just because of the deepness of that story. But also, that doesn't really relate to Spider-Man very much.
No, and it's hard to.
So you can also not have that.
I'm okay with that one.
You
I'm
sure?
okay with that one. Yeah, I really like the art for this too.
Okay.
And the ending page of All the Heroes is nice. It's a far more touching story than the other two.
Yeah.
All right, so
Hobgoblin and Steel, or
Jimmy Olsen Carnage.
Jimmy Olsen Carnage.
I think we both have them in like that order, right?
Yeah.
Hobgoblin, Steel, and then Jimmy Olsen Carnage, or do you?
Mine was Jimmy Olsen Carnage. I thought that one was better than Symbiote and Metropolis. Just because it felt like at least it was like Spider-Man, like I don't know, like
see, I have more than one problem with that story.
Mm-hmm.
I have the problem also that Spider-Man's like Hugh Hefner in it. He's like got Black Cat on one arm and he's got Mary Jane on the other, and he's like, just call it Spider-Man.
Yes, don't. You look like a tourist, dude. Yeah. Like, you know.
Don't
like,
mind me. I'm just taking my baddies, and we're gonna go out here and be cool. You know, that's not Spider-Man. So I think that's my problem. And then, don't go down any alleys that might like look weird. What's he do? Immediately goes down an alley that has. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. It's tough.
I think Hobgoblin and Steel is the next.
Okay.
I think Jimmy Olsen Carnage is last. I think you saying that convinced me. It's like, well, at least the characters are in character.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. At least it's like, at least it would be like, yeah, Hobgoblin would be stealing some tech from this corporation, and then he gets stopped by Thor. I don't think Thor should have been there. I think it was just like a red herring to be like, oh, look, it's a red cape coming. Right. It must be Superman. And then it's like, oh, no, it's Thor.
I think it's also because Louise Simonson and her husband, Walt Simonson, worked on Thor in the 80s.
Yeah.
So I think that has something to do with why Thor showed up, too.
Yeah, yeah. So there you have it.
Our rankings are...
Yep, let's do it. Final rankings.
Our Kryptonite.
Yep.
Spider-Man Noir and Golden Age Superman. Pa Kent and Uncle Ben. Then we have Truth, Justice, and Great Responsibility. We have Mysterio versus Superman featuring The Thing and more. Beyond the Cobwebs. The Ghost Spider and Supergirl story. Miles Morales and Superman. One of Those Days. Lana Lang and Gwen Stacy. Power Girl and Punisher Blind Date. We have Lois Lane, Mary Jane. We have Superboy Prime and Spider-Man. We have Bias, which is Lois Lane and J. Jonah Jameson. Symbiotes and Metropolis. Hobgoblin and Steel. And finally, Jimmy Olsen Carnage.
It really sucks that I mean, like, it sucks that that's the story, like, that compare, like, I don't know, it kind of sucks. It's like, who knew that would be the one? Who knew? No, it doesn't suck. Who cares? That was a bad story. That wasn't good. It was a useless. Get that out. Get that out of here. No.
So overall, Marvel did a better job than DC. This was a great crossover. Yeah. I really enjoyed these stories far more than I enjoyed the DC ones.
I agree. I think this one was better. We were proven wrong. They listened. You know what happened? They listened to the show.
That's right.
And they were like, "We got to step it up." And they stepped it up in like 2 weeks.
Yep. And then they shipped it out. made all the artists redo the stories. Yep. Everything. It was fun. Just one note. I keep noticing this on. You have the Carrie Andrews.
I do have the Carrie Andrews.
Spider-Man, Superman. Mary Jane is Venom in that cover. Did you notice that?
If it's actually a wraparound.
Yes.
And Venom is on the back biting Lex Luthor's butt.
Really? Okay. All right.
Yes, he is. Here, I'll take it out and show you. But yeah, and it's weird, and it's got like it. Like, hang on,
but the art is great. It's a great cover, but I just, oh my gosh, he is.
I remember noticing that, and I was like, why is regular Venom on here, and also MJ Venom? Yeah. And I was like, and also I just realized she's fighting Robot Man.
I can't see. Is that
it's
Metallo.
Metallo,
who has with the kryptonite heart.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go then. Oh, okay. Yep. And then you have Carnage fighting Superboy. Yep, at the bottom. Yeah. So
that is a sick cover.
That is a really cool cover. Yep. And you got Wreck Rap in there for what reason? I don't know. He's another Spider-Man character that just was put into the book for whatever reason. But yep. So theory confirmed. Venom bites Lex Luthor in the ass.
I like butts.
We like butt. Lex's butt looks good, Eddie.
No, I have no control of the symbiote right now.
Help us. So there you have it. There is our ultimate review
Yes.
on Superman, Spider-Man #1. And also check out our Instagram. We will post our list on Instagram. So that's kind of the reason why we decided to do that. That might have took a long time, but you know what? It deserved it.
It deserved it. So let's move on to something else DC related. We got some big news this week.
Whoa, this is the most exciting thing. I'm so excited to talk about this.
This is crazy. We are talking about Clayface.
The movie.
The movie.
We are getting a R-rated Clayface film. It is officially rated R.
And when it first got announced, I was like, oh my gosh, Clayface, why are we doing this?
Yes.
This is so stupid. But then the trailer, the posters dropped first.
The poster dropped first.
And so the day one, I think it was like Monday, something like that.
Yeah.
This came out probably the trailer came out Wednesday, so Tuesday the posters came out.
Did it not come out yesterday?
No, because today's Friday. Because we talked on the phone
must have
before
been
church.
Wednesday.
Yeah. So, anyways, the posters released, and you have these posters saying, this guy, and I can't remember his name, but it's the guy who becomes Clayface, was in a horrible accident.
Yeah.
And
Is it Basil Carlo? I'm hoping it's Basil Carlo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was in a horrible accident, and our prayers and thoughts are with him.
Yeah.
And then the next day they repost the same thing, but it's like melting.
Yeah, it's the same picture, and it's him melt. Oh, yes.
And then they released the big poster, which is like the profile. And his face is like just dripping down.
His jaw is just continuing.
Yeah.
He's got that big Clayface mouth, which is so cool. And we get the trailer. We don't get much. It's a teaser trailer, but we get to see him in the hospital after this awful what's happened in the show, at least. The mafia gets a hold of Basil, and they destroy his face.
Right.
They cut his face up and they beat him and they mess his face up. And he's an actor,
right?
So his face is his selling point to get a job.
Right.
So right there messes with his entire life.
Yeah.
And because of that happening, he is having visions of what he used to look like and him and his popularity. And then in the trailer we see them actually cutting his face. He's like strapped to a bed and they're taking a scalpel down his cheek. And then we get another cut of like them injecting himself with, I guess, the experimental clay skin regeneration stuff. And then we see him looking in a mirror and he looks normal again. And then his face is melting.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, like it's an interesting trailer because it cuts between back to the same shot repetitively, which I've never seen a trailer do before.
Yeah.
And we see a lot of intercut scenes. We see one of him. It's his shadow on a brick wall, and he raises his hand, and he gets that long arm with the big spike, the spike ball on the end of it. And the final shot, which is the freakiest thing I've ever seen, it gave me chills, is him laying in a bathtub, and he's just kind of looking off, and he wipes his face, and when he wipes his face downwards, it all melts.
Yeah.
Whoa. And then,
So when I saw that and we were talking about it, I said, dude, that's like your movie.
And that's literally what I was kind of shooting for.
Yeah.
Like I guess that's also why it gave me goosebumps, because I was like, that's what I was trying to do with Fragments, So like getting to see that in a professional film is like, oh man, I'm so jealous. Like they did exactly what I wish I could have done.
James Gunn has confirmed this is in the DCU. So this is in the same universe as Superman.
It takes place before Superman.
Yes.
Yeah.
It takes place before. It is chronologically the first DC film.
Yeah.
So it takes place even before Creature Commandos, which if you not watch Creature Commandos, Clayface is in that.
Is it in the universe?
It is in the DC universe. It is the first thing that came out regarding the DC universe, but Clayface is the first one that takes place in the universe.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay. Is it the same actor?
No, it is. As far as I know, it's not. But it's. Excuse me. You just have a voice actor. You don't have. You don't see Clayface's regular face.
Oh, okay.
So it's just a voice actor.
Okay.
So I don't. That's not.
Is it live? It's not live action.
No,
it?
Creature Commandos is animated. It's very R-rated. But very good.
Okay, cool. I didn't know if that was tying into the movies and stuff too.
It probably will eventually, and I strongly recommend watching Creature Commandos. Gabriella liked Creature Commandos, and she doesn't like Invincible.
Interesting.
Well, she doesn't like Invincible because it's gory.
Yeah,
but,
I'm right there with you. Lisa's the same way.
So but Gabriella really liked Creature Commandos. Like it was a weekly thing. We were sitting down watching it when it was coming out. But Clayface is in it, and it might explain why he kind of does what he's doing. And I'm not going to ruin it in case you watch it.
Okay. Yeah. I have been excited for this film ever since they announced it.
Okay.
When they announced that they were doing a Clayface film, my weariness came from Joker. Joker's one of my favorite films, but I remember when they dropped the trailer, I was like, "Oh, this doesn't look that good." And then I remember like going to see it. Me and my dad went and watched it, and the only thing I could think of was like, "This is not going to be good, but let's just see what happens." And then it was amazing. You know, it was one of the best films I'd ever seen. So when they announced Clayface, I immediately was like, "Oh, we're going to get the same. We're going to get a similar effect. Like this is if this is rated R and it's got that dark tone like Joker had." Yeah. I'm not worried about it, and clearly it is.
Right.
Actually, funny enough, this was not in the list of movies to be made in the DC movie. This was not a project that was planned. The guy who wrote and directed it, I forget his name. He went to James Gunn. And he was like, "Hey, I have a concept for a Clayface movie," and he pitched it. There was no script yet. He pitched it, and it was heavily influenced from the Batman the Animated Series cartoon. Okay. And he pitched it to James Gunn, and James said, "Write that and like make this a horror movie. This should be an R-rated horror movie." Yeah, and that was kind of went with what he was already describing. He was like, "Yeah, yeah." And he wrote the script and he gave it to James, and James was like, "Yep, let's do it." So literally, just like that, this is where this movie came from. It came from passion, which is what I'm excited about the most. And I'm going to say it here and now. I'm more excited for this than I am Spider-Man.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I'm more excited for this movie than I am Spider-Man. Not that like I'm not excited for Spider-Man. It's just this is a character we've never seen on the screen before. We've never seen him in a live action film. Clayface has been one of my favorite characters in the Batman universe, in the OG Batman universe. Clayface has definitely been a favorite of mine. I have his figure on the table for this. I think I'm a big nerd for the mature adult rated like dark superhero stuff. Right. Now like not The Boys, that's a little much, but I want to see like a character like Clayface, right? Body horror and Clayface perfectly matches. Yes. That's a perfect match. Seeing that, all I can think about is what are they going to do? Like I can't even fathom what they're going to do. And I'm a big sucker for horror movies that make me uncomfortable. Yes. I think slasher movies are lame. I don't really like those because it's the generic whatever. But this being a body horror, an actor who's trying to like fix his problem, and he thinks he does, and then it's like it's even worse than it was, and now he's this big monster. It's just I want to see it, and I don't think Batman is in this.
No, I don't think so.
Which I think is okay. Right. I'm not mad about that. I'm so excited. I have not. This is my most anticipated movie of the year for sure.
Wow, really?
I'm very excited about this. I'm not like this triumphs Spider-Man. This triumphs Doomsday. Like I'm very, very excited for this film.
Man, wow. Okay, all right. Gosh, I don't even know how to follow that up. Like,
are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Man, I'm speechless at that. I don't know how to.
Yeah.
So is it just because of all those reasons you just listed?
I think it's just
just because it's fresh and new and it's doing something horror related.
And it's got the film like I make movies, so like I have my own film. I guess like style and theme that I like, and this is hitting it perfectly on the head.
Okay.
Because again, looking at this, I see a lot of Fragments in it, right? Because Fragments was, like it's got that uncomfortable topic, like, ooh, that's hard to look at,
right?
Look, and Clayface is immediately going right out the gate with it. I mean, the whole trailer is him in a hospital bed with his face messed up, and he's got bandages, and he's got like you look at that, and it's uncomfortably long. Like that's what I like about movies. That those are the type of horror movies that I think are good because they make you feel something that's deep down that we avoid feeling.
Right. I'll give you this. I am more excited about this than I expected. Mm-hmm. And I will admit here and now that I am more excited about it than Doomsday. Doomsday is, to be fair, Doomsday is very low on my excitement chart anyways.
Yeah.
So I will say I am more excited for this, which is again very surprising for me because I don't like horror stuff.
Yeah.
And but
yeah, you don't. Yeah,
I don't.
Right.
But
yeah,
it actually does look very good. I'm very intrigued. And again, without Batman, what kind of story are you going to tell? With Joker, I was very weary about Joker, anyways.
Yeah.
And then you were like, "No, dude, you have to go watch it. You have to go watch it. Come on."
Yeah.
And you basically dragged me into the theater. And I'll admit, when you took me to go watch Joker, I went in with
Did
the
we
mindset.
go see that together?
We did.
I forgot.
We
Okay,
did.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
I went in with the mindset this movie's gonna suck.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm ready to go to war with you, basically, on why Joker's gonna suck.
Yeah.
And I was very surprised.
Yeah.
It was much better. Now, neither one of us has watched Joker 2 because we both think they just blew it out of the water.
to watch it. Yeah, they purposely made it a musical, or the director wanted to do something different, so he made it a musical to do that. But there was no need for that sequel, and I choose to believe it doesn't exist.
Right. But better than Brand New Day.
Yeah, and it's not because we're going to talk about some news that was announced with Brand New Day, and I don't think that news affects that.
Okay,
it's just I've seen a Spider-Man movie. You know,
that's true.
There's plenty of Spider-Man movies, and it's not that I'm tired of Spider-Man movies. It's just that I've never seen a Clayface movie.
Yeah,
I've never seen Clayface in a movie, and it's like, you know, the way the DC is going. Well, first of all, I love it because James Gunn is allowing people to come to him and say, "Hey, dude, I have this idea for this movie.
Right.
I would love to do this."
Right.
And it's not just that. It's that they're pitching it, and he goes, "Hey, write a script," and then they do, and they come back and they've got the script. They're like, "Hey, please read this. Here's the script," and he's like, "Yeah, I'll fund it. Let's do it."
And see, that's the thing, because when the Supergirl trailer dropped, a lot of people have been like, "Oh, this is just James Gunn doing Guardians of the Galaxy." James Gunn is not doing Supergirl; it's a different director.
Yeah.
But they're like, "This is just James Gunn doing Guardians of the Galaxy again, but with Supergirl."
Yeah.
And I'm not going to watch it for that reason. And he's just going to turn the whole DCU into Guardians of the Galaxy, which I don't think so. I loved Superman, and so I'm really excited for Supergirl this year. But I think this proves those people wrong.
Yeah.
That he is going to tell stories across whatever, as long as it's a good story. He's doing what Marvel didn't do for so many years. They're just pump it out. We don't even care. And just, we have to have something on screens.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be good. And DC is like, no, we want stuff on screens, but we want it to be good.
Right.
And I don't know, man. It looks good. It looks good.
I think, and you know, again, that thing of he's not afraid to like let films do what they're supposed to do, right? Because you know, this was the situation with Venom too, was that they made it PG-13 because they're like, oh well, it'll get more butts and seats.
Right.
Making a movie rated R restricts how many people can see it, and it's like, yeah, but no, like, you know, like, it's adults see it, and adults can, like, you can let your kid go in there, like, you have to approve it or whatever.
Well, it's just same thing there for like Deadpool and Wolverine. Look how good it did, and it's R-rated.
Yeah, and you know, this is that, like, because it's not a, well, I guess it is official, because interviewer asked James, they were like, hey, like, is this going to be like, are you thinking about R-rated? He's like, oh yeah, it's R-rated for sure.
Okay.
Like it's R-rated. Like he's, you know, so, but just the fact that there's no question,
right?
You know, there's no question in that. There's just like, yeah, this has to be that dark.
Yeah.
Like it should go there. My mom, you know, I told her like Elise, I showed the trailer to Elise and she was like, I can't go see that with you. I'm sorry. Elise can't do body horror.
Okay.
And my mom was like, oh, they're making a Clayface movie? He's so cool. And she's like, can I see the trailer? And I put it on TV. She was like, oh, this is like dark. And I'm like, yeah. Like, I think they should do this. Like, I think this is what movies need. Like, you know, because again, this stuff is for adults more than kids.
Right.
And the kids grow into it.
Right. They will.
Like, if there's a kid, like, yeah, it sucks that if there's a Clayface fan that's a child, that they can't go see this because it's too dark.
Right.
But when they grow up, they'll appreciate, like, I'm so glad it was good. You know what I mean?
Think about, like, The Dark Knight, right? When, I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, I was told, you can't watch The Dark Knight yet. It's a little too dark, so you need to wait a few years. And after a few years passed, and I finally watched it, I'm like, that was good. That's really good. So, like, Aurora, you know, for example, my daughter, who's not here yet, but we're super excited for her to be here soon, is that, you know, 50 years from now, when she can have a boyfriend, They can go
Right?
watch Clayface
In 50 years?
Right? Yes,
She'll be like 49.
She'll be
She'll be 50 years old. Yeah, literally.
So, yeah, they can watch Clayface together, and she can be like, "That's a good movie."
Yeah.
But I'm just kidding.
I get what you're saying, but yeah, like we shouldn't make movies we shouldn't water a movie down for kids,
Right?
You know, because kids grow into those things,
Yes.
right? Like make them for adults. There are kids movies, right? They
Yeah.
have entertainment. They've got SpongeBob, and they've got
Right.
movies on TV, and they've got cartoons like Batman the Animated Series. You know,
Yeah.
like you can watch this version of it,
Right.
But we need entertainment for adults.
Yes.
You know, adult comic readers and adult filmmakers should have something that's like you are more mature. Like we need to make this more mature for you guys.
Right.
You know, because it relates to us more. You know.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited for Clayface.
Okay.
I'm
All right.
again. I'm hoping it's my movie of the year. I
Okay.
hope that it turns out to be good.
I hope so.
I don't think it will be a disappointment. I think
Okay.
because James Gunn is letting the director do what he wants and be very into it. Because James Gunn isn't a part of it. He's
Right.
just a
He's just
producer.
the
He's just the
producer.
yeah. He just produces it, approves it, and gives them money. He's like, hey, here's all your money.
Right.
Go do what you want. You
Well,
know?
I'll tell you what. The 2 movies I'll go watch with you this year, if not 3. I'll go watch Brand New Day with you, but I'll go watch Clayface with you too.
You'll go see Clayface.
I'll
with
go
me?
watch Clayface with you.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'll go.
Are you
Nobody.
sure?
Are you sure?
If nobody else goes, I'll go with you.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, I know
got
you
me.
can't do horror, but well, I think also it being a comic book character.
I think it's not going to be like
you know what you're in
right,
for,
right.
But we don't really because
No,
you know
we don't.
it's
not going to be. I don't think it's going to be anything that's going to make me like go home and shiver and shake.
You're like,
and,
I hope he's not outside.
yeah.
Gabriella, hold me. You know,
and, like pouring holy water all over our place. And
yeah,
everything.
you're just like in there drinking a little bottle of holy.
right.
You know,
Right. So no, I don't think so. But I'll go watch it with you.
the movie's over. You turn to me, and my jaw is melted onto the floor. You're like, Paul.
So the other movie I'll go watch with you is Brand New Day.
Brand new date.
And
do have some news
we have
about
to
that.
talk about that. We've been beating around the bush.
Yep.
So the unfortunate news about Brand New Day is we are not going to see Man Spider because Disney is afraid of being too scary.
What are we doing, guys? Like, and that's it. How are we going to tell this story? If we're doing it's not what story? It's the other.
Yeah,
the other.
The
If
Other.
we're doing the other, which is what the story's called, and he's mutating, that Bruce Banner says he's mutating.
Right.
We have to get Man Spider.
Right.
That's the climax of that story.
Right.
That's the oh my gosh, I can't wait to see this. I can't wait to the climax with the black suit is like, oh, I can't wait to see it become Venom.
Right.
You can't just cut that out. And like the whole point is that someone I guess it was like a whistleblower or someone in Disney confirmed like, yeah, we're not getting Man Spider. It's too dark. It's too much, and this is too family friendly of a movie. Sure, Spider-Man's a family friendly character.
But this movie already has like that darker tone anyways.
Yeah, you have Punisher in it, dude.
Right.
Punisher's not family friendly.
No.
You know?
I think, and this is coming from an insider who was, I think it was somebody from the visual development team who was let go. And that's one of those things that we kind of also got bad news of, is that Disney has laid off their entire visual development team, including Andy Park, who has worked on Marvel movies since 2008 with the first Iron Man.
Yeah.
They have fired their entire visual development team because of AI.
They're replacing them for the moment. They're replacing them with freelance editors, freelance visual effects. Which, if you don't know what that means they just hire you for the job, they pay you, and then you're done. You're
Right.
not a permanent Disney hire.
Right.
You're just like, I'm going to pay you to do this, and that's it.
Right.
And then and then they're going to replace with AI.
And then the CEO said that they want to start integrating AI.
And if they do that, if we start getting AI Marvel films, I'm done with Marvel.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it. I'm a filmmaker, right? Like it's my job, it's my dream to be a writer and to tell and build these films because they're important.
Right.
It's important. It's entertainment, right?
Right.
Like if we lived in a world without entertainment, everybody would be
It's dull.
depressed.
Right.
It'd be dull and depressing. To give that to AI, and to let AI do that is awful because human involvement in these projects is the best because people can give you their opinions. One of the best things like that I have dealt with working on films there's nothing I love more than an actor coming up to me or an editor being like, hey, can we do this?
Right.
It's like, even if I don't agree, there's been moments where like I've had an editor say like, hey, I think we should do this. And I'm like, I just prefer this.
You're right.
At least they're coming to me and they're asking me, like they're bringing something to the table and saying, hey, like I think this would look better.
Right.
Right. I just, taking that away completely by giving it to a computer to do it. It's like this isn't human. And we've seen AI videos, they're everywhere. It's all over social media.
They are getting better, admittedly,
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean that we need to have movies. There's still flaws in them.
Yeah. And it's just like, I don't want Spider-Man to be swinging with 3 fingers,
Right.
or like the web to come from the tip of his middle finger or his thumb.
Right.
Right. Like,
and it still has that grainy kind of effect too.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of a really bad kind of blurred background.
And it's also like a merge effect. It's got like every, it's not consistent. It's like everything merges into the next image.
Right.
What are y'all doing, Disney?
So this is kind of a conversation we had the other day. AI can be a good tool.
Yeah.
But that is what it is, a tool. And if it is used for anything else, if you're using it just to take away jobs, if you're using it just to do the job, then that's a problem. So for example, one of my posts recently, I used AI because I was experimenting. I was using AI in the caption. And because I've read that the Instagram algorithm now favors posts with AI captions. So I tried it, and I don't think that's true because the post just didn't do that great.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, well, I'm not going to use that again.
Yeah.
And so certain things like that, it's a tool. It can help you, just like a hammer can help you.
Yeah.
Instead of using your hand to press down nails, right?
Yeah.
But that's what it is. It is a tool.
Right.
And if you're using it to replace everything, then you are losing that human creativity, that spark.
Right.
For everything else.
Yeah. It's really frustrating. And, and like, I think them putting it in the films and it doesn't belong there. No. And I hope they realize really quick, because I know it's going to happen. It's only a matter of months before we get a movie with some AI thing in it.
Right.
And
well, we're already getting Val Kilmer, who passed away. I don't know if you've seen that. He passed away, and they're bringing him back for a movie, and they're using entirely AI for that.
Yeah, I know they did that with James Earl Jones in Fortnite, because they put Star Wars in Fortnite, and Vader says all these.
I think he was still alive at that point, though.
No, he was.
Okay.
He had signed his rights. His family signed the rights to let Disney use his voice in AI. It's just it's not real. It's not human. And it doesn't get that same effect as like the actual person being there. And I get it, right? You've got people that have passed on, and you still want Darth Vader voices. And I think, maybe you can but even then I'm still not. I don't know.
Okay,
For example, we use AI for our notes sometimes.
Right.
Usually, sometimes when we have our big comment days, we'll put all the comments, and we'll have the AI not write anything. We'll have it organize our notes for us. So when we print everything out, everything's organized, and we can read it easier.
Right. Because we have so many comments that if we were to sit there, it would take us all day, and we have lives.
Yeah.
This podcast, like you said in the very beginning, was a fun passion project for us.
Yeah.
But it's not something that we're just like, we're going to give our lives, we're going to quit our jobs, we're going to. So we'll
just have AI run every. Yeah. No.
But you're exactly right, and that's even there. It's a tool, and even with the voice acting for James Earl Jones, like, it's a difficult subject there, because like I want Darth Vader to always sound like James Earl Jones.
Right.
I want Batman to always sound like Kevin Conroy, but if that's not their wish, if that's not their desire, then
it shouldn't be. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
I want Optimus Prime to always sound like Peter Cullen. But then, unfortunately, here's the other thing: we are cutting people out of jobs.
Yeah,
and there are people who can do great imitations of James Earl Jones, and like the Invincible Versus game, right?
Yeah.
I really thought that game was voiced. Stephen Ewan was the voice of Mark Grayson in Invincible. It's not. It's a different actor, but it sounds just like him.
Yeah.
And there are people out there who can do these voices. You just have to search for them.
Yeah, you just have to do auditions and let people try out.
Yeah.
But you taking that away from them straight from the get-go is just not, like, that's not, we shouldn't be doing that.
Right.
There are people to replace, we're going to have people to replace Optimus Prime when Peter Cullen dies. We're going to have a replacement for every person who like that's why there's so many people who voice Spider-Man.
Right.
There's so many Superman voice actors. There's so many voice actors for all these, just I think it's getting to be a really scary point. And the fact that they fired all those people, I wish AI never existed, to be honest with you.
For the sake of the reason why they fired all those people who have jobs, who have families that they're providing for, I kind of do wish AI
and
didn't exist.
also those people went to school to do that.
Their whole
spent
lives,
money and time and passion to make Spider-Man swing,
right?
And to do those amazing things, and now they've been replaced by something that's just a computer.
Again, think of Andy Park. Again, the visual director of Marvel since Iron Man, was fired, for AI. This guy has dedicated 20 plus years of his life, 20 years, to something just to be fired and say we want this computer to do your job.
Yeah.
I mean,
just so they can keep extra money in their pocket,
when as if they're not a multi-billion-dollar company.
It's just people wanting to make more money, and it's like, well, I don't want to have to pay people to do the work. I just want to make the money on myself. You know what I mean? And that's just it's greed. It's greed. And it's not right. And so I really, for everybody who is getting replaced with AI, for anyone who has lost their job, I'm so sorry. And I hope that some people in this industry can realize that this isn't the right thing to do. I also really hope that it doesn't, because, especially as a young indie filmmaker who wants, I would love to work on a Spider-Man film, but stuff like this freaks me out because it's like they're pushing me away, one day at a time. And it's like in 10 years, we could all, Clayton Crane, actually, the comic book artist Clayton Crane, he said this at a panel.
The only other Clayton.
The other Clayton, not this. Yeah, there's only two. He said at a panel, he said, I think in 50 years from now, AI will be so developed that we won't have filmmakers anymore. You can just type what movie you want and it'll just make the movie you want to watch. And it's like, when he said that, I was like, that could totally be true. And everything that I've worked for to get where I'm at or to build a future for myself is just nothing. Right. I think there'll still be people who will prefer real movies. If Christopher Nolan's like, hey, I'm making a movie, then it's just like, oh my gosh, I have to go see it. It's Christopher Nolan, but firing in Disney doing that is really awful. Shame on you, Disney. Shame on you, because that's not cool.
It almost makes me not want to go support anything they do. Yeah. It almost makes me want to not go to Brand New Day. Again, AI is a great tool.
It is not a replacement.
It's not a replacement.
Yeah.
So.
And I think in time too, another thing is I think there will become laws with AI. There's no laws with AI.
It's the Wild West right now.
AI is it's so new that there's no boundaries and no restrictions. You can just do whatever you want. So I think in time, there will be laws and there will be restrictions on what you can and can't do with AI. Right. And I think that would be a good thing, because I think that will keep companies from you work for us, so we're going to fire you and we're going to use AI to replace. Because that was the thing. Josh Keaton, the voice of Spider-Man on Spectacular Spider-Man, had mentioned at a convention that companies were doing that, and they would have you record your voice. They would have AI analyze it and copy it, so then they could just use AI to voice all of your lines in a game or it's more for video games. Yeah. Have AI copy all your lines in a video game. They don't have to pay you a penny, but your voice is still doing the work. It's just copied into a computer. It's not good. Please get rid of it. No more AI in film. I'm sorry.
And actually, if you want to touch on this real quick, you went and won an award for Fragments.
I did.
And you mentioned that there were people there at this film conference talking about the future of AI in filmmaking.
A lot of people were actually really excited that AI, a lot of people I had spoke to was like, I'm very invested in AI and what AI is going to grow into. And I just and sure, AI is good for, it's good for organizing your meeting notes. It's good for, it's good for hey, AI, I need you to, can you look all over the internet and find any articles that say this? That stuff's great. It does the hard part for you, right? Yes. But when it's doing the creativity for you, one of my favorite things that I've ever seen, I think it was in a newspaper or something, it said AI should be washing dishes while I'm making art, not the other way around.
That's
you know what I mean? I shouldn't be washing dishes while AI makes art. Right. You know what I mean? So, the AI is to make life easier, not take life away and not take creativity away,
Right.
because it's our job as humans and as people to create amazing art and create things that make people happy and inspire people. But when you're having the robots do that while you're just doing other things that you don't really, you shouldn't be mowing your yard while the AI in your house is making a movie for you to watch.
Right.
You should be, let AI mow your yard. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know. That's all.
That's all we've got to say on that.
Yep. So,
and finally, we're going to wrap up this episode by talking about
Invincible.
Oh man, we have reached the season finale.
This is our last Invincible talk until season 5.
A whole year away, man.
Is it come out next year?
Yeah, the next season will be next year.
Okay.
Robert Kirkman said they're going to release a season every year.
That sounds a little scary, but cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. Last finale.
So we have the Invincible crew coming back to Earth. The Resistance, I guess.
Yeah.
The Viltrumites are nowhere to be found.
Right.
They think that they're at Earth because it's like, well, they're just gonna try to kill our planet since we killed theirs. And we get back to Earth, and everything's fine. Nothing's been destroyed. We get Mark going to see Adam Eve, and she is gained weight due to the fact that she is pregnant,
or was
pregnant. I guess there's their big spoiler. That we find out that she finally tells Mark that she's pregnant by saying that she had to have an abortion, and the reason that she did that was because Mark wasn't there, and she was really alone, and she was very scared to go through with it.
Right.
And Invincible has this immense, like, this is all my fault. Like, my absence and me being gone made all these things, like, this is, it was a deep episode.
It was a deep episode. I've seen a lot of people complain that this was the weakest season finale, and I will agree. I do think it is the weakest season finale because you got to think last season was Conquest. That's where it ended. First season ended with the Omni-Man fight.
Yeah.
So, like, yes, it is the weakest, but in terms of character development, it is the strongest because this episode builds emotional tension.
Yeah, it builds. Yeah, and one thing too. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
you.
But like
continue.
one thing too is that when it was over, I was like, every ending to a season doesn't have to be a big climactic thing.
Right.
I was like, this proves that the end of a season can just be like, hey, everybody's got to breathe, and like we're making sure everything's okay. And then when we figure out, what is going on, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
What do we do about this? Because there's not very much to do.
Right, and you have to wait a whole year for the next resolution.
I don't like this waiting a year for things thing. Infinity War, why'd you do that? Like, you started a trend.
So, Mark is having PTSD from the war, and
Yes.
he is thinking worst case scenario, and they do it well, and it kind of got to a point where I think it got annoying, but I'm like, no, this is going to serve a purpose.
Yeah.
Where Mark is having, and somebody who's gone through a traumatic experience, they experience this where something can trigger them and they automatically are pulled back and they think worst case scenario, how is this person, this event or thing that essentially ruined my life, how is it now going to affect me now? So Mark sees several moments where Thrag shows up and he rips the head off of his mom, or he does
kills Adam Eve,
Adam Eve, or whatever,
or Cecil. Yeah,
Cecil. Kills Cecil. And each time it happens, it really feels like that's the moment. Like he is here.
He's here. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. And they make you feel that tension that Mark is feeling, only for him to not be there.
Yeah.
And so, finally, you're right. He does go talk to Cecil, and he's like, Cecil, Cecil, I need you.
Yeah, Cecil, I need you. I need help. You
help.
offer to help. And Cecil, this is one of the best moments of Cecil.
Yeah.
This is the first time he's not Timmy Toughnuts, and he's actually like, hey, Mark, we're here to help you.
Right.
Like, and Mark for the first time in a while is not so built up, right? Like we see, especially rewatching season 1 again, like we see him going from just a teen having a good time to really like he's like ready to fight at all points, right? And this is kind of like he's finally letting the weight be carried by the people around him,
right?
And seeing that finally happen is like, oh my gosh, like it's nice that he's relying on people,
Right.
you know. And he asked Cecil, he's like, Cecil, like, you offered me help a long time ago. Can you make that happen? He's like, yeah, we need to do a debrief, but we'll do that later. Let's help you out.
Right.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, we also have Omni-Man. And him and Debbie have a moment where she's just done with him.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, give me a chance.
Yeah.
He said, that's the one thing I've always loved about you, is that you believe in second chances.
Yeah.
Please give me the opportunity to show you who I am now.
Yeah.
And it is also revealed that she broke up with Paul. So that's another Paul gone.
Yeah, but this Paul was actually cool.
Yeah, this was a cool Paul.
She mentioned, she said, you know, our lives were too different, but he understands.
Right.
And she even tells Invincible, she's like, hey, you can call Paul if you need anything. He's here to help. And she said something about, like, he's a good man.
Yeah.
You know, like he's doing what he has to because he knows that my life is too stressful.
Right.
Which is just like, you know, we like this Paul.
Yeah.
This is a nice Paul.
This is a good Paul.
This is a good Paul. You know? I hate to see him go a little bit. You know? Like, oh, well, you know, that sucks.
So what happens is that Debbie wants to go check on Oliver, who is still back on Telestria, the home planet of Coalition of Planets.
Yeah.
And she wants to go, and Omni-Man's like,
Are you sure?
I think he actually says that.
Yeah.
Or no, Invincible says it.
Yeah.
He's like, "Are you sure?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh,
me?
meme reference." Oh.
So she goes with him. They leave. And that's a nice moment. Even when he's like, "You might want to look out the front screen. It's a beautiful sight." As they head back to the planet, and he kind of reaches out to her, and he
tries to grab her. And
he stops.
Yeah.
And that was beautiful.
Yeah, that was. You know, it was he realizes that it's too soon.
It's too soon. Yeah.
Something I'm really happy with is I'm so glad that they're giving Omni-Man these moments of like he's trying to do better.
Right.
And you see that, right? Because it's hard to forgive a person who has killed all those people on Earth and has this awful imprint. Like Cecil even says, Omni-Man goes to the site where he had beat up Mark,
and that's a cool moment.
That's
too,
a really awesome
because
moment.
they even have the voice lines over it calling back.
Yeah, and Cecil says you know, or Omni-Man says, or Nolan says, like, what does he say? He says
he's like, for what it's worth, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Cecil's
and he's like, I almost died in this war protecting Earth. And Cecil says, well, try to do it another, 4,000?
2,000,
Yeah.
430 sometimes.
Yeah. And
which
then
I'm assuming it was how many people died in the accident, in the fight with him and Invincible. And Nolan also says, or Nolan says, like, hey, I'm for what it's worth, I'm sorry. He's like, well, it might not seem like it's worth a lot, but it's worth a little something.
Yeah.
So even Nolan's like, you know, he's like, but he says something and he says, but get the fuck off my planet. And he walks away, and I was like, you know, I mean, hey, you can't argue with these people because it's like, you did this really bad thing. And it's like, yeah, we know it's real. We know that he's really trying to do better, but no one else does.
Right.
And we understand where both sides are coming from.
Right.
So you really want it to be easy on Nolan, but you also, you can't blame people for it not being easy.
Right.
You know, so.
Well, it's just like if somebody had done a very horrible thing, you know, in real life, and they make amends, you don't see it. So that's where it's kind of coming from too.
Yeah.
Like they might have hurt you personally, and so now they might have changed, but I need to see that proof of change.
Yeah.
So we go back to Mark and Adam Eve, and they are sitting on the bed together, and they're talking, and Mark's like, it's just my fault. I should have been here. He's just really in his head. He's really kind of beating himself up. And Eve says, why don't you go for a flight? She's like, I think that'd be good for you. Just go clear your head.
He's like, I don't want to.
Yeah. Well, you need to go.
Yeah.
You know?
That means you should go even more.
Right.
Yeah.
So he goes off and he flies, and he's just flying through like the sky and doing some flips or whatever. And it really seems to like letting loose. And they're playing the music that it makes you think like, okay, he's really kind of cutting back. And then he sees somebody in the distance.
Yeah.
He sees a cape flapping in the wind.
Yep.
And it's Thrag.
Yep.
And he says, we very much are here.
Yeah.
And he leaves him with a proposition. We will stay here on your planet. And you will do nothing about it. But we will not interfere with any of your world. We will not.
We aren't killing anyone. We're not causing destruction.
We will hide in plain sight, and we will rebuild Viltrum.
Yeah.
By mating with
your people.
Yep.
You are the example that this can work.
Yep.
And we will breed and repopulate and rebuild the Viltrum world, but we are at a stalemate.
Yeah. And
he says, but this is up to you. He said, you say yes, we don't see each other. Or he says, like, yes, like, we don't hurt anyone. You say no, and we'll destroy your planet.
Yeah.
Both of our worlds will die.
Right. He said, make your decision wisely.
Yeah.
And Mark is, no. And then he thinks, he's ready. And he gets a few swings on Thrag, but it does nothing. Mm-mm. And finally, he thinks of Adam Eve. Mm. And he finally lets go of his fist, and he says,
yes.
Yes. And Thrag says, you will not hear from me again, and flies off.
Yep.
And the season ends.
Which, that's an awesome ending.
Yeah.
Because it's genuinely like the best outcome that could happen has happened, but this is not good still.
Yeah.
Because they're still repopulating, like, it, and also they're on Earth, they're making more people.
Right.
Like, Invincible.
Yeah.
So you have, like, you don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. So this is a great place to end, I think.
I'm going to go ahead and say it. I made a post today about what is likely going to happen in season 5. Mm-hmm. So if you don't want spoilers, don't check out today's post. Because there are things pulled straight from the comics that are probably going to happen. And, man, great season finale. You want to explain what happens in the end credit scene?
Oh, honestly, you've read the book. You explain.
So, the end credits scene is Alan the alien, and he is now the leader of the coalition of planets. Mm-hmm. And we've seen him throughout the episode kind of dealing with this responsibility that he now has. But he has a video from Thetis. Mm-hmm. And Thetis is saying, essentially, I'm dead. You are the leader. I'm sorry for this burden. Mm-hmm. But there's something I need to tell you. Mm-hmm. The Scourge virus is there. The universe will not be safe until all Viltrums are wiped from the face of existence. Mm-hmm. Use the Scourge virus to wipe out every remaining Viltrumite. And he even says in the video, I admit that it may cause the destruction of Mark's people, the humans, but it is worth the risk to save the universe from the Viltrum Empire. Mm-hmm. And it ends with Alan looking at the vial of the Scourge virus.
Yeah. And he's shocked. He's like, oh my gosh, like this is the biggest responsibility that could ever be laid on him.
Yeah.
And so dang. You know, and again, this proves that a show does not need to be like this big badass fight to be an ending. Like this was emotionally an ending because now you're like, it's a nice break, for sure. Yeah. And it's also like I'm very eager to see what's going to happen next because like now Mark knows that all these things he can't now. It's like, can he tell people? Can he because he going to tell Omni-Man like this is what's happening? Right. And I don't know what to do because if we fight, then they're just going to kill everybody. Right. So sure, they could maybe make a plan, but you can see that like, who's the guy? He has an eye patch on it.
Yeah,
he's got
General Craig.
General Craig.
Yeah.
You can see him already like getting it on with some biker girl, so it's like it's already started.
Right.
I'm very this is a rough situation, and I don't know.
Yeah, when I said that this is the weakest season finale, it doesn't mean this was a bad episode by any means. It's a moment that leaves you eager for the next season, but it's not one of those that was like super tense. And I'm okay with that because the last episode was like the great fight. Yeah. Right? Mm-hmm. And I had that intense, like, this is really like part 1, part 2 kind of thing. Yeah. And so absolutely I'm okay with it. So I didn't mean at all to say that this was a bad episode. This was a great episode. Even a good finale, but I just think of all the finales, it's probably the weakest.
It is, for sure.
But still good. And knowing what is to come brother, you ain't ready.
I'm not. I don't know what to expect. Like
Right.
I'm at a point, because if you haven't listened to the previous episodes, I'm not reading the book. I haven't read the book because I want to go into this blind.
Yeah.
You know, I want to go into this fully blind, not knowing anything, and not knowing what happens. You know, I know one spoiler.
Okay.
That's it, and I'm not gonna say what it is. I know one spoiler just because someone had made a meme about it, and I was like, "What are they talking about?" And I googled it, and I went, "Brother,
Yeah.
dang it again!" Because the only spoilers that I did have going into this season, I flipped through the comic once, and I flipped on the page where Adam Eve is sitting on the toilet with a pregnancy test, and the page where she tells Invincible that she had an abortion, which really sucked because those were two big things that happened that I was like, "Oh man, that would have really surprised me."
Yeah.
But yes, I'm very excited for season 5. I really hope a lot of people post spoilers really fast.
They do.
I've noticed that it's like next day there's spoilers.
Right.
I'm really hoping that people don't do that.
Well,
but they're going to,
even with
you know?
what I posted, I have the cover slide. Hey, here's what's happened, and then the very next slide is spoilers ahead. You have been warned.
Yeah.
And then I go into actually what's going to happen.
Right.
So like you have, because sometimes Instagram will recommend the post again, but it's the second slide.
Right, just to get you, yeah.
Right. So that's why I did both slides as cover slide, spoiler slide.
Yeah.
So that way we don't.
No one accidentally gets, but...
Especially you. I don't want to do that to you.
I don't want to be spoiled, but I'm very excited. I hope it's good. I think it's going to get better. I don't know how many seasons they're going to do fully.
I think Robert Kirkman's goal is to do 9 or 10, but 7 seasons have been greenlight at Amazon.
That's awesome. Now, I hope in the next season, because my only critique with this season, is the budget. I think that this show should have a bigger budget, because
I really think so
they're
too.
having to cut down on certain things, because there's certain scenes that look really like I remember some of the past episodes I talked about, like Adam, Eve, and Mark are in the kitchen,
Right.
And they walk out the door, and it looks like a cool math game, like cut scene,
Right.
And it's like you have that, and then you have like the shot of Thrag like standing there with the light hitting him perfectly, and you're like, the budget, like you can tell, like there's the shots of the house, right, and I'm like, that was just them killing what's left of the budget, you know, and it's like they should have a big enough budget to make everything look good. They shouldn't have to make this look bad to make this look better, They should have everything should look good, and then certain things look better,
especially since it's so popular. And
it's the number one show right now. Yeah.
So it should have a much bigger budget.
Yeah, and it's Emmy. I think it just got nominated for an Emmy.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So it says what it says on Prime. Is that it's Emmy nominated? So, like at that point, like give it a higher budget. You're gonna make your money back.
Somebody said that that they're spending all their budget on the voice actors.
Maybe,
but just give it a bigger budget. That's all that matters.
just put more money on it. You know, like I'll donate $1. You know?
Right.
If everybody in the world donates $1,
that's $8 billion for this show.
It'll be live action.
They are working on live action Invincible.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Robert Kirkman said that they are still developing it, so it's not, you know, they're not past certain phases yet, but they're still working on it.
Is that something they should do?
I don't think so, and here's why: because you're going to have to end the movie with the Omni-Man Invincible fight.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have to end with Omni-Man leaving Earth.
Yeah.
And unless you plan on doing the Invincible cinematic universe, I see you.
Yeah, and I see you.
Which is where Mark is.
But also, you're doing literally what the show's doing.
Right.
You're just copying and pasting it and making it live action. And also, these seasons are long.
Yes.
You know, it's what, 9 hours is like an 8-episode season is 8 hours.
Right.
So you can't push all that into a 1 to 2 hour movie.
And see, in the comics, right, exactly. And the comics are 144 issues, I believe. I think it's 144, maybe 148. This next season, if we are lucky, we'll only get to issue 100.
Wow.
And
oh my goodness,
and so you got to think about that. Like four seasons in, 5 seasons in, we're only at 100 issues. So that's still like
that's a lot.
You can't just cram that into a whole bunch. This is not Star Wars.
No, this is not Star Wars.
And Star Wars worked fine as 6 movies and only 6 movies, and they never did anything.
Yeah. 6 movies and that was it. Yeah. And then nothing came out after that.
No,
you know, like
other than Clone Wars.
One Clone Wars show on Disney. That's the only thing they've ever made. Yeah. Too bad they don't make any more.
Yeah, it's probably a good thing.
Yeah. No, you know what? It might have been. Yeah. They did something with Ray. I don't know who that is. You know,
No.
I think you're tripping. Yeah, they didn't do that.
So I don't know. I don't think a live action is maybe the greatest idea. I would just put that budget towards the rest of the show.
I agree.
And let it be animation. Who cares if it's live action? Because it's just, same
because
thing.
you can't. You're going to cut corners. You're going to cut things out, and just again, a show allows you to shows are better for comics because you can tell the story beat by beat the way the comics do. Because the comic is the most perfect telling of the story because it's the OG. Right. So like you put that in a show, you can do that. You can even add stuff like they have been.
Right.
And in a movie, you have to cut. You have to cut a lot of important things out. And you're like, well, that can't be. That can't happen because that didn't happen, and they skipped that, which was important. Yeah. And then they change things, and it's not. I don't think it's worth it. But I'm sure we'll still go see it.
Yeah, I will. So how would you rank this season?
I liked this season.
I did too.
I liked it. It's definitely like I know I had said like it's not better than the pre. I think I don't know.
The only episode that drags it down is the Hell episode, and even then, even then, it's just my same thing. It was more of a filler episode than anything. Right? And so I'm not going to complain about any of the other stuff. It just felt like a filler episode that was not necessary.
Yeah. The story feels like it's flowing forward.
Yes, it is.
And it feels like it doesn't feel like this is dragging on. It doesn't feel like that there are, like there's some things you watch, you're just like, oh my gosh, it's on and on and on and on. Like this feels like every episode is leading to the next thing. Right. And every season, it's like, okay, well, I can't wait for the next season because it's,
I think each season progressively gets better.
Yeah. I think the budget wise, it's not as good. Right. I think that kind of knocks this season down a little bit because they cut the budget. And they're making the animators have to work with what they got. Right. If that wasn't the case, I feel like it would triumph other seasons, and it would be the next big thing, and then it would just continue to top itself. Because that's what you're supposed to do, right? Every season should beat the last season. Everything you put out should beat what's already been. Right. So, but I think it's a good season. I think I will say they used their budget wisely with what they had. I don't think that. I do think that some stuff could have, like those little scenes was like, oh, it could have been better. Right. But overall, everything, it was a good season. Yes. Very good season. I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
I was going to say 8 or 9 for me.
Yeah. So
really good. So that's Invincible for a whole nother year.
So we had a super packed episode. Yes. I think we're coming up on 3 hours.
Are we really?
I think so.
Holy cow, man. Wow.
But so
thank you for sticking around.
Hey, if you've made it here, thank you so much for sticking around. Again, I know people probably listen to this in chunks. Right. But so is there anything else we want to say before
That's it. Thank you again.
Yep, thank you so much. I know next week is light for us.
It may be a little while before we record.
Yeah, maybe a little bit before we record. I know we're meeting Scott Snyder
next weekend,
so we'll definitely have some news about that. And we don't know, but just in case, this could be Clayton's last episode. His wife is very much ready to pop.
Yes.
And we have already spoke that whenever he has his baby, he's going to take some time to spend with the baby. He might, if something big happens in books and he's just like, well, he might come back around for an episode or two, but he may be taking a break. So this could be the last episode with him on it for now. He's not gone forever.
No,
he's just
I'll
taking
be back.
A break. Yeah. So this could be it if she happens to get pregnant or if she goes into labor. But if not, we will be back in probably 2 weeks.
Yes.
For Absolute Batman 20.
If we're not back before then.
Yes. So
we will let you know.
We will let you know. We'll update you. So thank you guys so much for listening. Again, this has been a big episode. Thank you guys so much for listening. This has been Beyond the Pool List. I'm Paul Fine.
And I'm Clayton.
And we will see you next time.